Chapter 1. The Cinematic Technological System. In front of the gates of the Imperial Capitol Film Academy, graduates donned their academic gowns, exuberantly capturing their graduation photographs. Beneath the shade of a tree, two figures stood somewhat apart from the jubilant crowd. "Lang, how far along are you with your graduation project?" inquired a stout, earnest-looking young man beside him. "Not much progress, still seeking investors," Lu Lang replied absently. Graduates from the Imperial Capitol Film Academy must complete their own projects to graduate successfully. Students from the acting department are required to participate in a film production, while directors must shoot at least one short film. However, Lu Lang's current troubles were of a different nature. He was a transmigrator, having just arrived in this parallel world a week prior. Lang, don't push yourself too hard. I heard you went out drinking last week and ended up with a perforated stomach. You nearly didn't make it. Listening to his friend Lin Hao, Lu Lang recalled how his predecessor had met his untimely demise. In an effort to secure funding, he had accompanied a group of middle-aged affluent women to a karaoke bar, relying on his youthful vigor and good looks, believing that a bit of charm would coax some investments from them. Little did he know, these predatory women had spiked his drink with a substance intended for animal breeding. Under the influence of alcohol and an overdose of the drug, his predecessor had convulsed and perished on the spot. Had Lu Lang arrived, even a moment later, the body would have been destined for the morgue. "Let's not dwell on it. It's been a struggle for us all," Lu Lang lamented, reflecting on his predecessor's humiliating fate. "What about you, how's he?" "I'm in the same boat. With our families lacking wealth and influence, why do we even choose to enroll in the directing department? You're fortunate. Handsome enough to carve a niche as an actor. I'm in a bind if I don't complete my graduation project." I want graduate Lin Hao's face contorted into a grimace as he contemplated the future. "I've come to realize that the directing department is merely a playground for the offspring of directors, stars, and the affluent. That Bai Fei from our class has a budget of $5 million for his graduation project. The acting graduates are practically fawning over him, desperately trying to secure a role in his production." Lin Hao watched enviously as Bai Fei basked in the adulation of his peers. $5 million was undoubtedly a substantial sum for fresh graduates like them. Lin Hao considered himself a tad more attractive than Bai Fei, yet he lacked the advantage of a wealthy father. Just then, a tall girl in an academic gown, fair-skinned and beautifully made up, approached them. It was none other than Lu Lang's former girlfriend, the campus belle, Wu Mingming. "Lu Lang, hey, erase the information regarding Bai Fei's graduation project, chasing dreams in the entertainment circle." Wu Mingming handed Lu Lang a stack of printed documents. However, Lu Lang frowned and made no move to accept them. "I've agreed to star in his film as the leading lady, so he's willing to credit you as the assistant director. Consider it a consolation for our breakup. We're adults now, let's be mature and rational," she stated coolly, casting a glance at Lu Lang. "No, thank you. My graduation project is already in preparation." "What is it? A low-budget skit? A science fiction film?" Upon hearing the word science fiction, both Wu Mingming and Lin Hao were momentarily taken aback. "Science fiction? Lu Lang, can your excuse be any more far-fetched? I've helped you with Bai Fei, whether you go or not is up to you." Wu Mingming tossed the documents onto the stone steps and turned away without a hint of regret. As graduation approached, she finally recognized that good looks alone wouldn't suffice in the industry. Lu Lang's social connections offered her no assistance in her cinematic aspirations. With a clear vision for her career, she rationally initiated their breakup, deeming it a necessary measure for self-preservation. Offering Lu Lang the chance to be credited as assistant director was, in her eyes, a gesture of ultimate benevolence. "Lang, don't be too disheartened, I understand your plight. Heartless women and ungrateful actors." Lin Hao patted Lu Lang's shoulder, seemingly empathizing with him. The graduation season at the Film Academy was also a season for breakups, and after years of witnessing such occurrences, they had grown accustomed to it. Yet Lu Lang felt a sense of bewilderment having transmigrated. He felt no attachment to his former girlfriend, the campus belle, and therefore had no intention of accepting her pity. "Lang, you're quite resolute turning down the assistant director role for a $5 million investment." Lin Hao sighed, lamenting his own lack of fortune, wishing his parents had blessed him with Lu Lang's striking appearance, providing him the opportunity to live off someone else's success. By the way, Lang, when you mention a science fiction film, do you mean a romance infused with sci-fi elements? After all, love is a versatile theme. It can be woven into any genre in medical dramas, crime thrillers, detective stories, war epics, or mysteries, all disguise romance under various guises. Lin Hao felt he had gleaned some insight into the nature of Lu Lang's graduation project. In this parallel world, young actors and pop stars dominated the industry. Without their presence, production companies struggled to attract investment. The virtually talentless young actors and pop stars were best suited for romance films. Pondering this, Liu Lang refrained from responding. After capturing their graduation photos, he returned to his rented apartment. Upon transmigrating to this world, Liu Lang acquired a system known as the Cinematic Technological System. The revenues from the films he produced, including box office earnings and streaming profits, could be converted into points, which could then be used to purchase various technological advancements for his projects. Moreover, the Cinematic Technological System could assist Liu Lang in film production, aiding in the creation of CG visuals and visual models. In essence, with its assistance, the cost for special effects in films would be significantly reduced. Upon inheriting the memories of his predecessor, Liu Lang discovered that the realm of science fiction within the Dragon Country was virtually barren. It wasn't that there was no audience for science fiction, rather, there was a dearth of skilled individuals capable of producing quality films in the genre. Furthermore, the illustrious works of Liu Cixin, celebrated both domestically and internationally, had also vanished from existence. This revelation inspired Liu Lang to entertain an audacious idea, to create a groundbreaking film that would open the gates of the Dragon Country's science fiction realm. Current project: The Wandering Earth Project status. Script completed. Black technology redemption list. Drones without accompanying AI system, 500,000 points. Exoskeleton armor, 1 million points. Security check door robot, 8 million points. Bun Bun military dog robot equipped with a basic AI emotional module, non-upgradable, 20 million points. Navigator space station, 25 million points. Space elevator, 50 million points. Heavy nuclear fusion planetary engine, 1 billion points. 550 series AI system, 3 billion points. Chapter 2. My journey is the stars and the sea. The points needed to exchange for advanced technology can reach hundreds of thousands or even millions, like a planetary engine. And artificial intelligence can cost billions. This means that the box office of a movie must reach tens of billions to redeem all of them. This does not account for the portion of the box office that cinemas and distributors take. For Liu Lang, who has just graduated from film school, this is akin to reaching for the sky, even with the help of the advanced technology system. The high costs of special effects in science fiction films can be significantly reduced, but the costs for other actors in film production are still substantial. The cost of making a movie is far too large for Liu Lang at this moment. He no longer expects to secure any investment. Given the current investment environment in the film industry, without the involvement of major stars or well-known young actors, no one dares to take the risk of investing in a science fiction film. Moreover, this is a hardcore sci-fi film with less than 10 romantic content. Many people believe this already seals its fate as a potential failure. Investors are often short-sighted, only willing to invest in projects that are already successful. Expecting them to support a struggling project is simply impossible. Liu Lang is also reluctant to spend the majority of the film's budget on hiring popular stars. Perhaps he could try starting with CG animation? The most pressing issue now is that he must complete his graduation project within 2 months. Otherwise, he will have to postpone his graduation. Liu Lang knows that the conditions for producing a live-action film are not yet mature. He decided to begin with relatively simple CG animation, relying on the system's assistance to create a special effects short film to fulfill his graduation requirement. Liu Lang quickly began selecting the short film concept he wanted to create. It needed to highlight science fiction elements and have visuals that were sufficiently stunning to make the audience's adrenaline surge immediately. The scene from The Wandering Earth, where the joint government-air force battles a swarm of drones to protect the space elevator, flashed through Liu Lang's mind. This scene is visually explosive and full of technological flair, and combined with the grandeur of the space elevator, it would be perfect for a 10-minute sci-fi short film. Without hesitation, Liu Lang immediately ordered a batch of computer equipment online for rendering CG animation. Although the advanced technology system can assist him with rendering, character and object modeling, and effects production, it requires appropriate hardware as a foundation. The performance of the old laptop in Liu Lang's rented room is far from sufficient to meet the system's powerful effects production capabilities. During the time he tried to attract investors while entertaining a group of middle-aged women, he failed to secure any investment and nearly lost his life. In the end, those women only compensated him a few thousand for medical expenses, and the matter was left unresolved. The medical expenses, combined with Liu Lang's frugal savings of 20,000, totaled 100,000. 100,000 is enough to buy a top-notch personal computer for gaming, but for the machines needed in film industrial special effects production, it is merely entry-level. A mature special effects studio often requires hundreds or even thousands of high-end computers, professional rendering facilities, and various virtual camera and motion capture equipment, among other things. However, Liu Lang couldn't worry about that anymore. He was solely focused on quickly finishing the drone battle scene in his mind, which involved defending a space elevator, lasting just a few minutes. He needed to complete his graduation project first to ensure that he could graduate smoothly. 2 days later, the computer equipment he ordered online arrived promptly. Lu Lang also prepared a box of instant noodles and 2 cases of energy drinks. After assembling the computer equipment, he turned off his phone and immediately entered a state of seclusion. The scenes from the movie in his mind were continuously transmitted to the computer in front of him as electrical signals with the help of an advanced movie technology system. The high-end computer, which had cost Lu Lang almost all his savings, began to operate at full power with a buzzing sound. The noise of the graphics card fan filled the entire rental apartment, but Lu Lang was indifferent to the disturbance. He watched the screen as frame after frame, rendered to perfection, appeared, each one beautiful enough to be used as wallpaper. His excitement was overwhelming. With the help of the advanced movie technology system, the various scenes in Lu Lang's mind were accurately rendered on the screen, greatly reducing the operational pressure on the equipment. The special effects CG short film he was looking forward to was being generated at a visible speed, frame by frame, like a loom weaving fabric. The computer ran at full capacity for a whole half-day, and Lu Lang was completely immersed in the process. After so much time, the rendered special effects footage was barely under 5 minutes long, but Lu Lang was already very satisfied. Compared to those mature studios abroad, his speed was not slow at all and might even be much faster. This was because almost every frame he produced was useful and effective. With the help of the advanced movie technology system, his production efficiency had reached its limit. If it weren't for the limitation of having only one rendering device, he could have worked even faster. After quickly slurping down 2 bowls of instant noodles, Lu Lang finally couldn't hold on any longer and collapsed into sleep. After a brief 3-hour nap, he got up again to continue rendering the special effects CG and producing the short film. After 3 days of working through day and night, Lu Lang finally completed this sci-fi short film of under 15 minutes. By this time, he looked no different from a homeless person, with dark circles under his eyes, a messy hairstyle, and a floor strewn with empty noodle cups and drink bottles, the air filled with an indescribable, unpleasant odor. Sitting slumped in his computer chair, after successfully finishing the short film, a wave of emptiness washed over him. This was undoubtedly the best-produced special effects short film he had ever seen. More importantly, although he had the system's help, this was still the result of his personal efforts. Was it too much of a loss to just submit this as his graduation project? A thought suddenly flashed through Lu Lang's mind. After purchasing the rendering computer equipment, my savings have completely run out. Right now, not to mention filming a live-action version of The Wandering Earth, I don't even have enough for next month's rent. I need to find a way to make money. The graduation short film is done, so that's one problem solved. Now, I have to think about my survival. Lu Lang looked at the computer, which was still emitting heat after just finishing the rendering. This is my productivity tool, so of course I can't sell it. The only option left is to monetize the sci-fi short film I just made. After some thought, Lu Lang opened the computer browser and went to a video sharing platform. Creating a new account, Lu Lang Studio. He set the signature, "My journey is the stars and the sea." Then he uploaded the sci-fi short film he had just completed. Chapter 3. High energy warning. After uploading the short film, Lu Lang dragged his exhausted body to clean the rented room, took a shower, and then fell asleep on the bed. He didn't wake up until noon the next day. When he opened his phone, a buzzing sound of message notifications came through. Upon closer inspection, he realized it was messages from the class group. His classmate Bai Fei had already become a prominent figure in the directing department. Graduates from this year's film academy were all trying to get into his crew through connections. Although a $5 million investment isn't much in the film industry, it's considered luxurious for a graduation project. Graduates from the directing and acting departments were recommending themselves to join the crew, with many even claiming they would act for no pay. In the past couple of days, Bai Fei's graduation project had already started filming in Sanya. Their social media and chat groups were filled with updates about them: islands, sunshine, beaches, yachts, handsome men, and beautiful women. With ample funding, Bai Fei had turned the filming location into a party. In contrast, Lu Lang could only work on his graduation short film in his rented room, which felt quite shabby. Wow, Bai director, you've really invested a lot this time. You've even invited Lin Junyan, the rising star. Someone commented in the chat. Good steel should be used on the blade, Bai Fei boasted. Out of the $5 million investment, $4 million went to invite Lin Junyan. His management company only agreed because of my connections. Normally, he wouldn't accept a film with a fee below $6 million. Bai Fei proudly chatted in the group. With Lin Junyan as the male lead, my debut film's box office should definitely exceed $10 million, right? His fans could probably guarantee $5 million in box office. Others in the group started to express their envy. There are distinctions among popular stars. Some are major stars, while others are minor. Major stars have fees no less than $10 million per film, while minor ones range between $1 to $10 million. On top of these, there are top-tier stars whose fees and revenue shares can reach tens of millions or even over $100 million. Their fees correspond to their market appeal. Regardless of the film's quality, As long as these stars are involved, their fans will support it blindly, ensuring that investors secure a portion of box office revenue in advance. This is also an important reason why these popular stars can thrive in the film industry of a certain country. The first project, my dad said, is just to test the waters. Once we gain experience, we can increase the investment. Regarding chasing dreams in the entertainment industry, my expectation is to break even. Maybe make a profit of 1 or 2 million. Bai Fei suddenly began to express his grand visions in the chat group. Everyone in the group turned into sycophants, flattering the newly appointed director Bai. A graduation project is a hurdle that students of the Film Academy must face. Not everyone can smash their way through a graduation film like Bai Fei did with money. Many are worrying about what to do for their own graduation projects. I haven't seen Lu Lang around for a while. Has anyone seen him recently? Lu Lang? I think he seems to be working on some sci-fi film. He might still be seeking investment. If you ask me, sci-fi films are not something just anyone can pull off. That industry has developed for so many years, and they have already formed technical barriers. Even if he raises a few $100,000 in investment, what can that money produce? If I were him, I would rather honestly make a low-budget short film, and then seek out my mentors, say a few good words, and maybe I would pass. I originally invited him to my crew as an assistant, but unfortunately, he didn't give me the courtesy. Lu Lang's rejection left Bai Fei feeling unsettled. The other party clearly didn't think much of him, which made him, who had been flattered lately, quite displeased. Wow, a sci-fi film? It seems there haven't been any hot topics in that genre recently, right? Not just recently. There have hardly been any notable sci-fi films in the history of this country's cinema. If you ask me, it would be better to go to those underdeveloped rural areas and film their suffering lives. The more exaggerated and grim, the better. Not only is it low cost, but those foreign film awards love this kind of content. Who knows, he might even snag a Best Newcomer award. Alas, what a pity. If I had been invited by director Bai, I would have rushed over immediately. Lu Lang used to be a prominent figure in the directing department due to his looks and physique. But upon graduation, everyone became more realistic. The Film Academy is always full of handsome men and beautiful women. Only those like Bai Fei, who have financial backers, attract envy and admiration. Lu Lang glanced at the chat history and lost interest. In recent days, aside from the chat group's messages, only Lin Hao had sent him a few greetings. Brother Lang, I can't stay in the capital anymore. I'm planning to go to a certain filming location to join my uncle. He's a casting assistant. Brother Lang, I'm really leaving. Come find me to hang out when you're free. Take care of yourself. If all else fails, consider becoming an actor. You're so handsome. It would be a shame not to find a wealthy woman. Hee hee. Brother Lang, I've arrived at the filming location and got into a big production through connections. I'm the head of the extras. Wow, it's so exhausting. I have to work 15 hours a day, every day. No more talking. I need to lie down. Lu Lang felt warm inside as he read these messages. Among so many classmates, perhaps only Lin Hao genuinely wished him well. After replying with a few messages expressing good wishes and a bright future, Lu Lang's attention returned to his rented room. He opened his computer and logged into his account on a certain video platform. In the upper right corner, a red notification popped up showing 99 new messages. Lu Lang was taken aback, then realized something and quickly opened the page for the sci-fi short film he uploaded. The total views were 3.01 million, with 306 comments, 980,000 likes, 1.72 million coins, 1.35 million favorites, and 1.66 million shares. As a novice content creator, Lu Lang wasn't sure what these numbers meant, but seeing the overwhelming number of comments filling the screen, and considering it had been less than 8 hours since he uploaded the video, on a weekday no less, he wondered, has my video gone viral? With this question in mind, Lu Lang clicked on his video. The screen opened with a resounding alarm. As the alarm blared, a large number of drones parked in the hangar took off into the sky. Tens of thousands of drones clustered together like a swarm of bees, blocking out the sky. Accompanied by the soaring background music, the drone swarm officially began preparing for an attack. Wow, this scene looks so real. Which foreign special effects company made this CG animation? Damn, I thought this was real. I couldn't tell at all. Amazing. This is exactly how I imagined future warfare. Drone battles, awesome. Useless. It's all flashy. One EMP bomb could take them all down. Is this a trailer for a movie? Why is there no introduction? High energy warning ahead. High energy ahead. High energy warning. Chapter 4. Is the video going viral? Suddenly, a large batch of uniform comments appeared on the screen. High energy warning. Following that, the direction of the drone swarm's flight was filled with a spectacular human-made structure that soared into the clouds and pierced the sky. The space elevator. It was the space elevator depicted in many sci-fi novels, full of futuristic elements. Thick cables made of special materials formed a structure resembling ropes. And the elevator cabins, propelled by rocket boosters, quickly ascended large compartments, rapidly lifting them to an altitude of tens of thousands of kilometers above the ground. This made what was once a complex and difficult human spaceflight operation as simple as taking an elevator. For the viewers seeing this imagery, the magnificent scene of the space elevator fulfilled their fantasies about this sci-fi structure. This is amazing. This is exactly how I picture a space elevator. Listening to this background music gives me goosebumps. It's so shocking. The CG is done brilliantly, but unfortunately, this kind of space elevator could never exist in the real world. It's pure two-dimensional self-indulgence. This film is so confusing, with no background introduction. No matter how good the visuals are, I can't understand it. Did you not look carefully upstairs? I've already watched it twice. There's a voiceover hinting that the AI went offline, so maybe those drones were hacked. Since the appearance of the space elevator in the video, the density of comments has once again become exaggerated. Everyone is discussing it in the comments, and among the numerous remarks. Except for a few questioning the feasibility of the space elevator, most are praising the realism of the special effects and the shock of seeing the space elevator. Liu Lang had to block most of the comments just to barely see the footage he uploaded. Soon, with the sudden attack of the drone swarm, the scene shifted, and the air raid sirens began to sound. The battle to defend the space elevator instantly commenced. The drone swarm launched a fire attack on ground units, catching the human troops stationed at the space elevator off guard, resulting in heavy casualties. Following that, the majority of the drone swarm launched a surprise attack near the space elevator, starting swarm tactics. Numerous automated defenses at the space elevator base began to counterattack. In an instant, hundreds of automated close-in weapon systems started operating and firing. A dense barrage of bullets buzzed towards the swarm of drones in the sky. At the same time, the drone swarm continued to launch attacks. The airspace near the space elevator instantly became a battleground of intense firepower. Drones were continuously shot down by the anti-aircraft fire, turning into bursts of fireworks in the air. Wow, the drones have rebelled. This is amazing. Is this the future of aerial combat? Funding is burning. Funding is burning. These anti-aircraft guns look so realistic, just like what I saw during fleet exercises. First time watching, I guess these drones will be taken out by EMP weapons later. At this point in the video, comments actually decreased somewhat. The audience seemed to be stunned by the spectacular drone attack, unable to free their hands to type comments. However, the next scenes in the video once again excited the viewers, leading to an explosion of comments. A large number of manned fighter jets stationed near the space elevator base received orders to take off urgently and join the battle to defend the space elevator. As the hangar roofs opened, familiar silhouettes began to appear before the audience. Wow, isn't that our 5th-generation fighter? I can't be mistaken. It's definitely the J-20, so cool. And there's the Su-57, F-22, F-35, etc. How did a 3rd-generation aircraft like the Rafale get mixed in? Is there a traitor among us? The vertical takeoff and landing J-20 looks really cool. Chengdu Aircraft Industry Group, hurry up and make improvements. I want to ask, is there a copyright issue with using the J-20? Just kidding. Sci-fi fans and military fans are ecstatic. As a representative of the military strength, the advanced 5th-generation fighters instantly ignited the comment volume. Soon after, a large number of fighter jets took to the sky to engage the drone swarm attacking the space elevator. The fighters moved like lightning, shaking off the swarm of drones that followed closely behind, while also showcasing their maneuverability. Subsequently, a large number of reinforcement fighters arrived and began engaging the drone swarm with visual attacks. These scenes have thrilled many military enthusiasts among the audience. I declare this the best military film of the year, no exceptions. I announce your announcement is valid. Military fans are ecstatic. Fans of a certain aircraft have shown up uninvited. Is this a development preview from a military industry group? Brothers, I have a question. Why are those drones all chasing that aircraft? I don't understand military matters and feel it's a bit illogical. Haha. Because the stealth performance of that aircraft is the worst among 5th-generation jets. Nailed it. The details are on point. Kudos to the production team. After takeoff, those fighter jets were never seen again. Were they all shot down by the drones? Just kidding. Today's view count reached 11, amid a flurry of comments. The battle for the space elevator ultimately ended in defeat for the defending side. The cable of the space elevator collapsed, causing the upper space station to lose support and start plummeting to the ground. The compact 15-minute sci-fi short film reached its final phase. As the massive and grand space station fell, the film transitioned from sci-fi to military to war and finally to disaster. What is the background music? This score gives me chills. I can't breathe. It's amazing. Wow, it feels like a Hollywood blockbuster. The visuals are epic. Such a large space station must weigh over 1,000 tons. If it crashes down, it would be like a meteor hitting the Earth, creating a massive crater. It's really impressive. I've already watched it 3 times. In less than 15 minutes, it contains so many elements and is produced so well. It's simply a surprise. The 15-minute short film quickly came to an end, But the audience's discussion was far from over. As users of a certain platform, they had seen many animations with various CG special effects. However, this sci-fi short titled Battle for the Space Elevator was of such high quality, with realistic special effects and stunning battle scenes, that it was unlike anything they had seen before. The video's metrics continued to rise as time passed. Many viewers who watched this sci-fi short couldn't help but recommend and share it with their friends. Lu Lang sat in front of his computer screen, watching the total views of the video surge from 3 million to 10 million in just a few hours. It seemed that the video was really gaining traction. Chapter 5. The Hope of Sci-Fi in the Nation. How much can a video with 10 million views earn? While slurping instant noodles, Lu Lang eagerly searched online. He wasn't focused on whether he had become popular, but rather on how much his video could recoup. So far, he had invested all his savings into this sci-fi short. He hadn't even secured next month's rent yet. If he couldn't recover his investment soon, he would have to sleep on the streets. However, the answer he found online left him greatly disappointed. A video with 10 million views typically earned only around 20 to 30,000, at most 50,000. The real money comes from the advertising promotions and various sales profits after accumulating a large number of followers. Lu Lang frowned as he opened his creator dashboard. Although his account had only been created for less than a day and only had one video, thanks to the popularity of the sci-fi short film Space Elevator Battle, his follower count quickly soared to 300,000. Did he really have to take on those low-quality game ads that his peers would ridicule? Or sell those counterfeit products? Lu Lang sighed. None of this was what he wanted. Moreover, these earnings wouldn't count towards video revenue, meaning he wouldn't earn any points that could help him access the advanced technology for filmmaking. Creating a live-action film like The Wandering Earth required a significant amount of money. After contemplating, he realized that only the advanced technology from the film could solve his funding issues. But now, his problem was how to earn his first pot of gold from video production to exchange for that technology. Buzz, buzz, buzz. At that moment, his phone vibrated. Hello. Is this Mr. Liu from Lu Lang Studio? Yes, who is this? Hello, Mr. Liu. I am the person in charge of the National Creation Zone on the platform. I previously contacted you through internal messages, but since you didn't respond, I had no choice but to reach you through the phone number in your profile. Lu Lang opened his creator dashboard and indeed found several internal messages among a pile of notifications. Is the sci-fi short film Space Elevator Battle you uploaded an original work from your studio? Yes, that's correct. Well, after the review by our National Creation Zone, we unanimously agreed to select your studio's work for recommendation in this year's Starlight Award selection. The Starlight Award selection. Hearing this, Lu Lang's mind immediately became active. The prize money from winning the video would also be counted as points. If we win, there will be a prize, right? On the other end of the call, Lu Zitao, the head of the National Creation Zone, was momentarily taken aback. A studio capable of producing such high-quality CG animation was undoubtedly among the top in the country. Based on the special effects level of Space Elevator Battle, the production cost was estimated to be at least several thousand per second, even on the conservative side. If there were slightly more discarded special effect shots, the cost could soar to tens of thousands, or even over 100,000 per second. 15 minutes equated to 900 seconds, and considering labor costs, equipment depreciation, etc., Lu Zitao guessed that the studio had invested at least tens of millions in this short film. In contrast, while the Starlight Award was an internationally renowned sci-fi award, Space Elevator Battle, being only 15 minutes long, could only compete for the Best Short Sci-Fi Film Award. Even if it won, the prize would only be in the hundreds of thousands. This amount of prize money was merely a drop in the bucket compared to production costs. Lu Zitao believes that a studio capable of producing such a high-quality sci-fi short film as the Space Elevator Battle would certainly not care about a mere few hundred thousand. You're joking. The prize amount is insignificant. That's not the point. The key is the honor of the Starlight Award. It is the most recognized and authoritative sci-fi award worldwide. Over the years, not only have people from our country never made the shortlist, but even any overseas Chinese have not been nominated. If we can make the shortlist, we will be making history. Lu Zitao excitedly stated that he has already immersed himself in working alongside Lu Lang Studio, considering it as us. The quality of the short film The Space Elevator Battle left Lu Zitao, the head of the National Creative District, in awe. The judges convened and reached a unanimous decision in just a few minutes to recommend Lu Lang Studio for this year's Starlight Award selection. This work will represent the country's sci-fi contributions in this year's Starlight Award evaluation. With the production quality of The Space Elevator Battle, Lu Zitao feels this is the most hopeful attempt for the country's works in many years. It also represents another relentless effort by the people to break the Western sci-fi monopoly. The hope and significance it embodies are immense. However, Lu Lang couldn't resonate with this at the moment. Come on, he doesn't even have next month's rent secured and can only eat instant noodles for every meal. How could he have the ambition to pursue the highest honors in world sci-fi? So when he heard that the prize was negligible, Lu Lang immediately lost interest. After agreeing over the phone with the head of the National Creative District, he left everything regarding the award selection to them and stopped paying attention. After browsing online for a while, Lu Lang did gain some insights. At least he knew that the video he produced should bring in tens of thousands next month. Although these points wouldn't allow him to redeem any cinematic high-tech, at least he didn't have to worry about not being able to pay rent and being kicked out onto the streets. Should he continue making CG short films for profit? Or take on advertisements and product placements? Lu Lang found himself hesitating. If it weren't for the film production abilities supported by the system being limited to projects he leads, he might have been able to make a fortune as an effects outsourcing studio. Rubbing his head, Lu Lang decided to put all that aside and focus on submitting his graduation project to the school first. After a few days of weekend fermenting, the space elevator battle had already stirred up quite a buzz online. Best sci-fi short film of the year. I declare that the country's visual effects production level has reached a world-class tier. It turns out there are still people striving for the country's sci-fi. I'm moved to tears. As an industry insider, I can responsibly say that although this short film is only 15 minutes long, the cost is at least over 10 million. CG animation is a money-burning project. The producers will definitely not recoup their investment. The country's sci-fi has a long way to go. On major online platforms like Bilibili, Tieba, and Weibo, the emergence of the space elevator battle has largely been met with praise. Although the country's sci-fi has seen almost no substantial development over the years, that doesn't mean everyone lacks hope for the future. The production level of science fiction films is often linked to a country's overall strength and military power. Science fiction films from a certain prominent region, backed by a powerful film industry and military dominance, are marketed globally, spreading specific values. Over the years, people have witnessed this but found little effective means to respond. The emergence of the space elevator battle is like a spark of hope. Although it may not change the landscape of science fiction in the region, it at least brings hope to the audience. Chapter 6. Is this really your production? Amidst the overwhelming online comments, there are not only praises but also criticisms. It's just a short animated film, not even comparable to works from another region. And they expect to reach that level? What a joke. A studio named Lu Lang? I haven't heard of such a special effects team in our country. Could it be that they hired a foreign team to splash money on it? The production team lacks basic scientific knowledge. In reality, something like a space elevator is impossible to create. Mark my words, no country will be able to build one in the next 30 to 50 years. Swarm drone warfare is nonsense. With such a dense formation, there's no need for close defense weapons or fighter jets. Just a single EMP bomb could take them all down. There are both supporters and detractors. Those who enjoy space elevator battle and those who criticize it have engaged in a heated argument in the comment sections of various platforms. Lu Lang silently scrolled through his phone, observing the uproar he had caused online. The reason he chose to create this short science fiction film before preparing for a full movie, aside from funding issues, was to gain recognition. The film industry is very realistic. A newcomer, fresh out of film school, wouldn't attract much attention. Now, the buzz generated by space elevator battle has allowed Lu Lang to initially enter the public eye. Buzzing his phone vibrated continuously as the chat group became active again. Damn, is this Lin Junyan really acting so high and mighty? We've waited so long for him, and he just shows up for a day at the set and leaves? This is ridiculous. He has the male lead. One day is not enough to finish filming his scenes. Director Bai, you need to figure something out. Communicate with his agent. This is not how you rush a schedule. How can we shoot the film without the male lead? In the director's class group, many students volunteered to help with the filming without pay, eager to get involved in Bai Fei's major project backed by a 5 million investment. However, the male lead, a rising star, not only arrived late but also stayed for just one day, posing for a few promotional photos before leaving. The freshly graduated directing students were completely taken aback by such a situation. Seeing the complaints from classmates in the chat group, Bai Fei, the director of Chasing Dreams in the entertainment circle, was also feeling overwhelmed. The rising star, relying on his current popularity, showed little regard for the newly graduated director Bai Fei. The demand of a 4 million fee was just the starting point. They also wanted a share of the box office profits to cooperate with the filming. This left Bai Fei stunned, as he never expected that the other party would act so unreasonably despite signing a contract in black and white. Our artist Junyan's schedule is fully booked with commercial performances, earning around $1 million every day. How could he afford to spend a week just negotiating for a film? Lin Junyan's agent was quite firm. The popularity of young stars is fleeting, like shooting stars. Various idol groups, trainee variety shows, and singing competitions continuously churn out new stars. If they don't seize the opportunity to make money while they are hot, their commercial value will plummet once they fade from the spotlight. Bai Fei tried every tactic and even slipped the agent a 200,000 red envelope. which finally got the other party to relent and agree to have Lin Junyan cooperate by using post-production special effects and compositing techniques for the film's other phases. I communicated with Lin Junyan's agent, and he is indeed a bit busy lately. However, we have found a solution. We will use a stand-in for the shooting, avoiding close-ups. And then we will use post-production to add the facial features later. At this point, Bai Fei could only swallow his frustration. A $4 million a day actor made him feel like he could tear Lin Junyan apart in his mind. But on the surface, he had to maintain a cordial atmosphere. The director, most of the actors, and the crew members were almost all beginners. Lin Junyan was the biggest highlight of his film. After the movie was released, Bai Fei had to rely on Lin Junyan's fanbase to promote it, so he naturally couldn't afford to fall out with the other party. Upon hearing Bai Fei's explanation, the chat group fell into silence. No one expected such a bizarre maneuver. The most outrageous part was that Bai Fei, as the director, actually agreed to it. A couple of days later, Lu Lang found time to bring his graduation short film back up to school. Unexpectedly, he ran into Bai Fei while submitting his work. Bai Fei, aren't you still filming with the crew? The rough cut is done. I'm here for post-production special effects, Bai Fei replied. Isn't your film Chasing Dreams in showbiz a romantic drama? Does it also have special effects? Lu Lang asked, puzzled. Bai Fei felt awkward at this question. He didn't want to admit that his special effects involved compositing Lin Junyan's face onto the stand-in actor. Ahem, Lu Lang. Is that the sci-fi short film you mentioned? Bai Fei quickly changed the subject, pointing to the backup in Lu Lang's hands. Lu Lang nodded. You're lucky. I heard there has been a popular sci-fi short film online recently. Riding on that wave of popularity might just get you past the mentors and judges. Lu Lang's expression turned a bit strange upon hearing this. Haven't you seen that short film? If you had seen that it was made by Lu Lang Studio, you wouldn't be making that face. I haven't seen it. I've been so busy lately working on my film that I haven't had time. Bai Fei clearly hadn't considered that the viral short film online might be related to Lu Lang. As a director of a production with a budget of $5 million, he felt a sense of superiority towards Lu Lang. Lu Lang nodded, said nothing more, and walked towards the counselor who was responsible for collecting the graduation works of the current students. Teacher Ning, this is the rough cut of my movie Chasing Dreams in the entertainment circle. I hope you and the judges can provide your guidance. Bai Fei seemed quite confident in his work and submitted his graduation project before Lu Lang could. Teacher Ning adjusted his glasses, nodded indifferently, and only glanced at the backup disc Bai Fei handed over, not taking it to heart. Teacher Ning came from a prestigious family. His grandfather and maternal grandfather were both prominent figures in the history of the film industry. The type of money-driven romantic film that Bai Fei produced hardly caught his attention. Teacher Ning, this is mine. Lu Lang handed over the backup of his short film to Teacher Ning, then turned to leave. Teacher Ning took it, originally not paying much attention, but when he glanced and saw the title on Lu Lang's graduation work backup, The Battle of the Space Elevator, he exclaimed, wait a minute. Lu Lang, is this really your work? Bai Fei looked confused as he watched the previously aloof counselor, Teacher Ning, now excitedly chase after Lu Lang and engage in a friendly conversation. Chapter 7, a one-stop recommendation package. I thought it was just a coincidence in the name. But it turns out this Lu Lang studio really is yours. Counselor Ning looked at Lu Lang with surprise. Like many other sci-fi fans online, he was thrilled to see the title The Battle of the Space Elevator. Coming from a film family, he had once wanted to make a sci-fi movie for his countrymen, but various reasons led to it being shelved. This did not extinguish his dream of making a sci-fi film. To discover that the creator of the well-produced The Battle of the Space Elevator was a student under him was undoubtedly a huge surprise for Teacher Ning. I've seen your short film. Its production quality is so high that winning first place in this year's graduation projects is definitely not a problem. Teacher Ning kindly patted Lu Lang on the shoulder. As a mentor, it's hard to suppress the fondness for students with good achievements, especially since Teacher Ning is also a sci-fi fan. Unlike the acting department, the directing department has a limited number of students and graduation works participating in the evaluation. Although The Battle of the Space Elevator is just a short film of a little over 10 minutes, its quality stands out among the graduation works. If one had to mention a work that could pose a threat to it, the so-called big production Chasing Dreams in the entertainment circle with a $5 million budget by Bai Fei might barely qualify. The judges participating in the evaluation are all senior professors and associate deans from the college, who might have some bias against sci-fi and CG animated effects. Make sure to rally your fans to vote on the evaluation website when the time comes. Although the final decision lies with the college's evaluators, online voting can at least apply some pressure on them. At this moment, Teacher Ning had completely forgotten his neutrality as a counselor and began to give Lu Lang direct advice. Lu Lang found himself at a loss for words in front of the suddenly enthusiastic instructor. Meanwhile, Bai Fei, who had initially been confused, quickly came to a realization. The recent popular sci-fi short film online was actually created by Lu Lang. Bai Fei couldn't process this shocking news. He had never seen the instructor be so friendly with any student before. Listening to the instructor's words directed at Lu Lang, it seemed quite obvious that there was something fishy going on. Bai Fei's face twisted with envy and jealousy. According to the usual practice, the first place in the graduation project of the Film Academy's directing department would be awarded as a title of honor to the winner. For various awards in the film industry, this first-place title might be considered insignificant. However, for students in the directing department, it represented supreme glory. The competition in the film industry of the country was quite fierce, and there was a bit of a seniority system. Being one step ahead meant being ahead in every step. Holding the title of first place in the Film Academy's graduation project would certainly make others regard you more highly in the industry. Bai Fei was determined to win this first place, which was why he had set a budget of 5 million for his graduation project. Ahem, Teacher Ning, do you see any areas in my work that need improvement? Bai Fei coughed to remind the instructor that he was still standing by. Oh, Bai Fei, you haven't left yet? Your project about pursuing dreams in the entertainment industry should pass. Teacher Ning casually brushed him off and eagerly returned to discussing the details of the space elevator battle with Lu Lang. Pursuing dreams in the entertainment industry. Bai Fei's face turned green upon hearing the instructor's evaluation. He had spent over 5 million, including bribing the male lead's agent. He wanted first place, and a mere passing grade was far from satisfactory. After leaving the school, Bai Fei hurriedly found an internet cafe, opened a computer, and searched for the space elevator battle. As soon as he opened the video, the overwhelming number of comments made his face drop. Frustrated, he closed the comments and watched the short film at double speed. After finishing it, his mood grew even heavier. As a directing student, he had basic film appreciation skills. Without a doubt, Bai Fei knew that the production cost of Lu Lang's sci-fi short film was definitely not less than 5 million. How could you, Lu Lang, play the fool while hiding your true talent? Wu Mingming even said you were broke, but you secretly found someone to create such an expensive sci-fi animation. Bai Fei felt a mix of anger and urgency. The male lead of his graduation film was being difficult and uncooperative during filming. The female lead, Wu Mingming, who was Lu Lang's ex-girlfriend, was now seen by Bai Fei as a traitor and a spy. Even the instructor was not making things easier for him, openly guiding Lu Lang on how to manipulate online votes right in front of him, trying to interfere with the evaluation results. No, I can't just sit here and do nothing. Feeling he had been treated unfairly, Bai Fei immediately called his father. Dad, it's bad. I might lose my chance at first place for my graduation project. What happened? I didn't invest 5 million in your project? Isn't that enough? Our counselor favors someone else's work. I'm worried about the evaluation. Counselor? What does a counselor matter? Isn't the work evaluation decided by those old guys in your college? All right, tomorrow I'll have a meal with Vice Dean and to build some rapport. After the call, Bai Fei's anxious heart finally calmed down a bit. But when his gaze fell on the playback screen of the short film, Space Elevator Battle, which showed a total view count of 86 million, his mood couldn't help but become restless again. Boring. Not interesting. Only elementary school students watch animated films. After sending this comment, Bai Fei quickly contacted Lin Junyent's agent. Weibo text promotion costs 100,000 per post. Video promotion under 30 seconds costs 500,000 per post. And a comprehensive fan group recommendation package costs 1 million. Hearing the agent's quote, Bai Fei felt overwhelmed. 1 million? So expensive. Didn't we agree to cooperate on the promotion? Haven't you seen the recent new talent rankings? Junyent has already ranked in the top 100. Times have changed. Bai Fei suppressed his urge to curse, and, after much negotiation and giving the agent a 500,000 red envelope, the other party finally agreed to give Bai Fei a discount. After hanging up, Bai Fei was already exhausted. Wait a minute, the 500,000 red envelope plus the discounted recommendation package of 500,000 still adds up to 1 million, right? Bai Fei suddenly felt frantic, realizing he had been fooled again. At that moment, a notification flashed on the computer screen. His comment had received a reply. Did watching animated films offend you? Are you the kind of orphan who uses an ID card as a household register? Bai Fei's casual comment had stirred up a hornet's nest among the vast community of Bilibili. Various aggressive replies flooded in. With his anger boiling, Bai Fei quickly engaged in an online argument. Chapter 8. Online voting. Lu Lang didn't expect his counselor to be so enthusiastic about him. There are rumors that Ning Xueli comes from a prominent family in the film industry, which is why he could easily secure a position in the Film Academy at such a young age. The Ning Xueli who passionately discussed things with him today was a stark contrast to the previously serious and aloof counselor. If it weren't for the constant inquiries about the details of the short film, Space Elevator Battle, Lu Lang would almost think his counselor's sexual orientation had changed. After returning to his rental apartment, Lu Lang sat in front of his computer and opened the online voting website for graduation projects. The simplistic, even rudimentary webpage displayed nearly 50 works arranged from top to bottom. These were the graduation projects of this year's directing department graduates. After the project title and author's name, there was a voting option. Although online voting couldn't sway the judges' decisions, the number of votes could reflect the public's appreciation for these directing graduates' works. Lu Lang looked up and saw that currently at the top of the ranking was by Phase Chasing Dreams in the entertainment circle. Its like and vote count had reached 534 and was still slowly increasing. It had already opened a huge gap from the second place, which had only 56 votes. Lin Junyun's fan group has arrived. All unrelated people step aside. Forever loving Junyun. Junyun's fan group reports in. Who is Wu Mingming? How can this bold woman even be worthy of pairing with Junyun? When is this movie being released? I hope this new director doesn't let Junyun's stunning looks go to waste. Lu Lang frowned as he looked at the comments, feeling overwhelmed by the intensity. No wonder it could rank first. It turned out to be due to the male lead's small but passionate fanbase. Lu Lang didn't actually care much about the honor of being the top graduate project from the directing department. After all, it was just a title and didn't come with any prize money. As long as his graduation project could pass, he would successfully graduate. With the high quality of the space elevator battle, achieving a passing score was definitely not a problem. However, thinking about the male lead's fans promoting fan culture on his graduation project made Lu Lang feel a bit uncomfortable. So he opened the Bilibili creator backend again. The space elevator battle, after rounds of online buzz, had reached over 70 million views on Bilibili alone. As soon as Lu Lang logged into the backend, notification pings started ringing nonstop, making his scalp tingle. Ignoring the rapidly increasing video data, Lu Lang sent out a new post. Hope everyone can support. Thank you. Movie Academy Directing Department Graduation Project Voting Link HTML. A brief message plus the voting link. It was that simple. After clicking send, within just a few seconds, comments started flooding in below the post. Watching for the fourth time, I thought the uploader updated a new video. Vote cast. Hurry up and update the next video. Wow, the uploader is really from Longhua, Lu Lang Studio. The director of the voting link is also named Lu Lang. A newly graduated director? A sci-fi star from Longhua. Vote. Vote support. Bilibili has shared it 3 times. All 4 phone numbers in my house have voted online. Uploader, you better be making the next video. Lu Lang glanced over, and almost all the comments were from fans urging for more videos. The enthusiasm of the netizens was a bit overwhelming for Lu Lang. After closing the creator backend, he refreshed the voting link again. Sure enough, the passionate netizens were incredibly powerful. In just a few minutes, the vote count for the space elevator battle had approached 1,000, surpassing Chasing Dreams in the entertainment circle. As time passed, with each refresh of the link, the vote count increased by dozens or even hundreds, leaving Lu Lang in disbelief. Why is the webpage stuck? Just as he was about to break through the 10,000 vote mark for his work, when Lu Lang refreshed the page, he was met with the message, web server error, please try again later. Could it be a network issue? Lu Lang didn't pay much attention to it. Buzz, 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 the phone vibrated, and when he picked it up, it turned out to be Lu Zitao, the person in charge of the domestic creative area at a certain platform. Mr. Lu, good news. Our work has been shortlisted for the Best Short Film category of the Starlight Awards. The final winners will be announced tomorrow. The award ceremony will be held in a certain European capital, and time is tight. You need to hurry and prepare to fly over. On the other end of the line, Lu Zitao was even more excited than Lu Lang, the author. He was already at the airport in Shanghai. Lu Lang couldn't help but roll his eyes. Right now, his pockets were emptier than his face. How could he possibly spend thousands or even tens of thousands on a flight? Moreover, this was just a nomination. Whether they would win was still uncertain. Lu Lang had no intention of making a loss-making venture. I've been busy handling special effects at the studio lately and really can't make it. Of course, Lu Lang couldn't say he didn't have the money for a flight, so he casually made up an excuse. Is Mr. Lu preparing a new project? I understand. Creators need a quiet environment to work. Lu Zitao quickly took on the responsibility of attending the award ceremony. Meanwhile, inside a certain film academy, the selection of graduation projects was already underway. A jury, led by the vice president and composed of several directors and associate professors, took their seats one after another. Ning Xueli, the youngest member present, acted as the host of the evaluation meeting. I took a close look yesterday, and among these works, the one that has the best chance of winning first place is probably by Phase Chasing Dreams in the entertainment industry, the vice president said, lightly touching the Rolex watch he had just put on yesterday. The other jury members present immediately understood what he meant. However, this was just an internal ranking of graduation projects, and the professors naturally wouldn't openly contradict the vice president's opinion. Hearing this, Ning Xueli became a bit anxious. Vice President, there's also a sci-fi CG short film made by Lu Lang, and the quality is very high, I think. Xiao Ning, we can't let personal preferences influence our judgment in our work. That Chasing Dreams in the entertainment industry has reportedly started screening in theaters recently. How many of these graduation projects can reach that level? A sci-fi CG short film? ISNT that just a children's animation? In fact, the vice president hadn't even looked at these graduation projects. In his eyes, what could freshly graduated students produce? Just kids playing house. Bai Fei's parents were somewhat perceptive, knowing who had the final say in this evaluation. Giving him the first prize would just be a matter of course. Ning Xueli was still prepared to argue. But at that moment, a staff member suddenly rushed in from outside, claiming that the school's online voting server was overwhelmed and had crashed. Chapter 9, Starlight Award for Best Short Film. The server is down? Everyone in the room exchanged glances, taken aback. The official website of the Film Academy usually sees very little traffic aside from the students of the academy, so there has never been an issue of server overload or crashes. At this moment, the vice dean recalled a conversation from the dinner table yesterday with Bai Fei's father, mentioning that there was a popular star in the show Chasing Dreams in the entertainment industry. It seems that a particular work had garnered a large number of votes, which is understandable. Although the results of online voting do not sway the judges' decisions, we cannot ignore works that are popular among the public. I always say that art comes from reality, and the voices of the masses are also important. The vice dean had already concluded that it was Chasing Dreams in the entertainment industry, and after delivering a bureaucratic statement, he asked the staff for the ranking situation. Before the server crashed, the first place was held by Lu Lang's Space Elevator Battle. Upon hearing this, the vice dean's previously faint smile immediately faded. Wasn't this result a blatant slap in the face? What about the second place? It couldn't be that far off, right? The second place was Chasing Dreams in the entertainment industry, with a total of 986 votes, over 9,000 votes behind the first place. How much of a difference? 9,000. The vice dean almost stood up on the spot. If it had been just a few dozen or 100 votes, he could have brushed it off. But a gap of over 9,000 votes felt like a heavy punch to his face, leaving him stunned for a while. The many professors present watched the vice dean being repeatedly embarrassed, all lowering their heads to avoid eye contact, pretending not to see. Nearby, Ning Xueli couldn't help but smile slightly, eager to see how the vice dean would handle the situation. However, he was still too young and did not expect that the vice dean would simply end the competition with a single statement. The disparity in voting data was too great, suggesting potential ballot rigging. So let's cancel this online voting. Ning Xueli was stunned upon hearing this. He never anticipated such a maneuver from the other side. Dean, this isn't in accordance with the rules. All right, let's end the meeting here. The vice dean waved his hand to signal the end of the review session and quickly left the meeting room. Ning Xueli stood there, fuming and breathing heavily, almost ready to curse out loud. Hey, young Ning, you're still young. There will be more of this in the future. Just keep a calm mindset. A middle-aged professor, seeing Ning Xueli's angry demeanor, seemed to recall his younger days. He patted Ning Xueli on the shoulder and offered a few words of comfort before leaving. Ning Xueli felt disheartened. With such obvious bias and protection from the vice dean, it would be difficult for Chasing Dreams in the entertainment industry not to take first place. Lu Lang was unaware of everything happening in the academy. Even if he knew, he wouldn't care too much. He was busy preparing for his second video short. He wanted to redeem those high-tech items from the list, and even the cheapest drone required 500,000 points. This meant he needed to earn at least 500,000 in revenue from his video works. After solving the problem of his graduation project, Lu Lang set a small goal for himself, to earn 500,000 first. With the first installment of Space Elevator Battle gaining fame, Lu Lang was ready to seize the opportunity and release a second video. Once again, it would be a CG special effects animation, this time featuring a sci-fi short about a nuclear explosion on the moon and a meteor falling. This type of CG animation, which does not require live actors, was his best choice at the moment. With the help of advanced filmmaking technology, he could easily produce it all by himself. Just as Lu Lang was planning the storyboard for the short film and busy writing its setup, his phone buzzed. A WeChat video call from a user named Lu Zitao appeared. When he answered, a young woman with an excited expression appeared on the screen. Beside her were many foreigners dressed in high-end evening gowns, with blonde hair and blue eyes. As Lu Lang wondered about the situation, the young woman spoke first. Teacher Lu, I'm the assistant of Supervisor Lu. We did it. Space Elevator Battle won the Starlight Award for Best Special Effects Short. In the video chat, the young woman was flushed with excitement, nearly shouting the good news to Lu Lang. Despite her enthusiasm, the surrounding foreigners all showed understanding, clapping amicably for her. Lu. Teacher Lu? Lu Lang felt a bit baffled by this title. Having just graduated from university, how had he become this person's teacher? Just then, the phone's camera shifted to the award stage, where the world-famous sci-fi film director was presenting the awards. Next to him was none other than Lu Zitao, receiving the award. It really won. Lu Lang was genuinely surprised. He hadn't even thought it would win. As Lu Zitao had taken the initiative to add English subtitles to Space Elevator Battle, Thanks to the committee for their support, and to the audience for their recognition of sci-fi from our homeland. This is a small step for world sci-fi, but a significant leap for our nation's sci-fi. Lu Zitao, holding the trophy tightly with white-knuckled fingers, emotionally trembled as he spoke. He then delivered a speech about how challenging it was for sci-fi in their country, emphasizing that this Starlight Award for Best Short was not only recognition for Lu Lang as the creator, but also a significant affirmation for their nation's sci-fi, the entire Chinese sci-fi community, and all of Asian sci-fi. During his speech, Lu Zitao choked up several times, prompting the presenter, Cameron, to kindly offer him a tissue. Lu Lang stared at the scene on his phone, thinking, Lu Zitao, you actor, how are you performing this so convincingly? If I didn't know better, I'd think you were the original creator. Teacher Lu, he started preparing his acceptance speech while waiting at the airport, even practicing it in his dreams. The assistant chimed in, seemingly moved by Lu Zitao's speech. It looked like Lu Zitao was quite dedicated and responsible. The award for Best Short Film has been presented, and after Lu Zitao stepped down from the stage, he shared the joy of winning with Lu Lang. After a while, they finally hung up the phone. The supervisor seemed to have not mentioned the bonus to teacher Lu yet. Their essay prize of 100,000 euros, nearly 700,000 dragon coins. I'm not saying you, but discussing money in such an elegant artistic setting is so vulgar. The cost of space elevator battle is at least several million. Would teacher Lu care about such a small amount? The organizing committee will automatically deposit the prize into teacher Lu's account, so we don't need to worry about it. The female assistant responded in a daze. She vaguely remembered seeing a stack of instant noodle cups on teacher Lu's desk in the video. Could it be that teacher Lu likes to eat those nutritionally empty instant noodles? Chapter 10. Interview with the People's Daily. Early the next morning, Lu Lang woke up groggily from bed. His stomach grumbled loudly. He was awakened by hunger. But when he saw the only food in his rental apartment, buckets of instant noodles piled in the corner, he felt a wave of nausea rise in his stomach. No way. If I eat more, I'll really throw up. I need some normal food. The earnings from Bilibili creators wouldn't come for another 2 weeks. Lu Lang was struggling with how to get through these 2 weeks when his phone buzzed again. Hey, Lang bro, did you win some foreign award? Oh, it's for a best sci-fi short film called the Starlight Award. It's quite niche. How did you know? Sci-fi is considered a niche culture in the Dragonland, and short animations are even more niche within that niche. Lu Lang was puzzled about how Lin Hao, who was busy working in Hengdian every day, knew about this news. My uncle told me. Even his anti-Japanese drama crew has heard about it. I found it quite unbelievable too. Wow, Lang bro, I just searched. And it looks like you're trending on Weibo. The official account even mentioned you. Don't forget your little brother when you get rich. I'm working 15 hours a day now, more durable than a beast. After some lighthearted banter, Lu Lang hung up the phone. He opened his computer browser and searched for Weibo. Sure enough, he found the 5th trending topic. College student sci-fi short film wins Starlight Award. Clicking in, a series of news headlines appeared, with almost half of them explaining what the Starlight Award is. It is the internationally recognized top award in the sci-fi field. Established for decades, the major awards have been monopolized by creators from certain regions, with only one country in Asia ever making the shortlist. Before this, no Chinese or overseas Chinese had ever been nominated for this highest sci-fi award. The People's Daily called this a significant historical breakthrough for sci-fi and Dragonland, breaking the nearly century-long monopoly of the certain regions in world sci-fi. Lu Lang never expected that such a niche sci-fi award could cause such a huge response within Dragonland. Even authoritative state media like the People's Daily took a stance, giving positive recognition. The statement from the People's Daily served as a signal, prompting countless online media outlets to crazily ride the wave of the Starlight Award's popularity. Baidu Tieba, Weibo, Bilibili, Douyin. Countless online media and curious netizens have made the Star Award a hot topic. Any content related to the Star Award attracts numerous onlookers. With the help of these online media and enthusiastic sci-fi fans, even though many onlookers' understanding of science fiction remains at the level of fictional superheroes like Superman, Iron Man, and Captain America, it doesn't stop them from recognizing Lu Lang's talent. If the Star Award were established and awarded by a certain country, it would have no significance at all. The people from that country have a deep-seated lack of confidence in their own sci-fi works. However, when the space elevator battle won an award set up by foreign entities and conquered foreign judges and audiences, the people from that country finally believed that they could also create sci-fi works that reach a world-class level. Lu Lang was happily browsing the online reviews of his work, The Space Elevator Battle, which won the Star Award for Best Short Film. Suddenly, he received a call from his counselor. Hello, is this Lu Lang? Where are you right now? There was a hint of excitement in Ning Shueli's voice. I'm near the school, at a rental house on Langyu Road. Hurry, come to school right away. The People's Daily wants to do a special interview with you. Ning Shueli interrupted as soon as she heard Lu Lang was nearby. However, Lu Lang soon heard her mention the need for authenticity and a visit to the place where the work was created. A little later, Counselor Ning Xueli said to Lu Lang again, "Send me your location, and the reporter from the People's Daily will come to find you for the interview." She also subtly reminded Lu Lang to clean up a bit. After years of being a counselor, she knew exactly how messy a male student's dorm could be. After hanging up, Lu Lang was still a bit bewildered. An interview with the People's Daily? Interviewing me. Those who get featured in that section include military heroes, model workers from various fields, scientists with significant research contributions, and village officials who have helped lift their hometowns out of poverty. What qualifications do I, a recent graduate, have to be chosen? Shaking his head, Lu Lang decided not to dwell on these thoughts and quickly tidied up the trash in his room and opened the windows for ventilation. In just 10 minutes, Counselor Ning Xueli arrived at Lu Lang's rental house with a team of 5 from the People's Daily for the interview. "Hello, Lu, I'm Zhang Xiaolan, the reporter from the People's Daily. You can just call me Xiaolan." Dressed in professional attire, Zhang Xiaolan gave a neat and fresh impression. Behind her was an interview assistant responsible for taking notes, while 3 other assistants handled filming. Ning Xueli stood behind everyone, gesturing to Lu Lang to respond seriously. Zhang Xiaolan looked at Lu Lang and felt pleasantly surprised. She had expected him to be an unkempt tech guy or a scruffy artsy type, but she was taken aback by his good looks. After some small talk, the two sat on the only 2 chairs in the rented room and began the interview. "Don't be nervous, it's just a simple interview. Have you had breakfast, Lu?" Zhang Xiaolan chose to start with casual conversation. "To be honest, I didn't have time to eat." Lu Lang replied awkwardly as his stomach rumbled. "It's okay, after the interview, let's grab lunch together. I'll treat you," Zhang Xiaolan responded cheerfully, quickly bridging the gap between them. "Do you usually eat these instant foods?" Zhang Xiaolan looked surprised at the unopened buckets of instant noodles piled up in the corner. There was also a large bag of discarded noodle containers that hadn't been thrown away yet. Yeah, instant noodles are convenient and cheap. Making special effects animations is quite demanding, and both money and time are precious to me." Zhang Xiaolan nodded in understanding. "It is said that the cost of producing CG special effects animations is particularly high. Your work is nearly 15 minutes long, and some speculate that the production cost could reach tens of millions. As a university student, how did you manage to cover the production costs?" The interview team had already learned that Lu Lang's family was not wealthy. "Tens of millions? That's too exaggerated. It doesn't take that much. That's the price of top special effects studios abroad. The biggest investment I've made is this high-end computer worth 100,000. The rest is all on me. A bucket of instant noodles, a can of energy drink, and a whole day of hard work. Eating only cheap instant noodles, living frugally, and using the hard-earned money from part-time jobs to buy expensive rendering machines." Zhang Xiaolan felt a strange sense of connection with this cheerful young man. She recalled the role models, heroes, and scientists she had interviewed before, seeing similar qualities in Lu Lang. Chapter 11. Undoubtedly deserving climbing the peaks of science fiction. Steadfastly moving forward. A news report featuring Lu Lang, who continuously overcomes challenges in pursuit of his ideals and the rise of science fiction in the country, was gradually taking shape in Zhang Xiaolan's mind. Half an hour of the interview passed quickly, and after it ended, Lu Lang happily joined the group for a meal. However, when it came time to settle the bill, the counselor, Ning Xueli, insisted on paying. Once Zhang Xiaolan and the others left, Ning Xueli excitedly told Lu Lang that with the official media's coverage, the space elevator battle now had a powerful backing. No one would be able to take away the honor of being the top graduate project from Lu Lang. At that moment, Lu Lang remembered that there was indeed a competition for the top graduate project. "Teacher Ning, there's really no need." Lu Lang didn't actually care about whether he could take first place, having already received recognition from the Starlight Award for Best Short Film. An internal award from the Film Academy had lost its appeal for him. How can there be no need? If such trash as chasing dreams in the entertainment circle can overshadow you, it's truly a tragedy for the cultural scene in the country. People like Bai Fei think that by spending some money on a few popular stars, they can secure a place in the film industry here. I want them to know that this is a delusion. Don't worry, I assure you, what belongs to you will definitely not slip away. Everything is under my control. Ning Xueli passionately told Lu Lang this, then patted his shoulder and turned to walk towards the Film Academy. Looking at Ning Xueli's gradually receding figure, Lu Lang felt a strange sense of emotion. Knock, knock, knock. A series of knocks sounded. Come in. The vice dean raised his head and was immediately troubled to see Ning Xueli enter. "Xiao Ning, hasn't the ranking of the graduation works already been decided? There's no need to keep coming back for such trivial matters." Ning Xueli had strong connections and a deep background, even as the powerful vice dean of the academy. He didn't dare to directly deal with him. If it were another counselor without much backing, they would have been scolded long ago for being so presumptuous. "Vice dean, I'm here to bring you some good news." Ning Xueli's face beamed with a smile that didn't seem fake, leaving the vice dean puzzled. "What good news?" Our academy has a work that has won an award abroad. Oh, is that so? As a key leader of the academy, any major awards won by the students naturally contributed to his achievements. The vice dean quickly put on his reading glasses and took the materials Ning Xueli handed over. Starlight Award, the most prestigious science fiction award in the world, Best Short Film. Space Elevator Battle, author, Lu Lang? Upon seeing the author was Lu Lang, the vice dean's expression turned sour as if he had eaten a fly. Starlight Award? Doesn't he seem very famous, does it? Who ranks it as the most prestigious in the world? It wouldn't be another one of those insignificant foreign awards, would it? The vice dean frowned and asked repeatedly. In the realm of film in this country, science fiction films had long been a void. Thus, the majority of people here didn't care much for science fiction awards. In the vice dean's eyes, only the Oscars, Golden Globes, Palme d'Or, Golden Bear, and Golden Lion could be considered international awards. This award is highly regarded abroad. The lifetime jury members include renowned directors like Spielberg, Ridley Scott, and Peter Jackson. Look, the award for Space Elevator Battle was given by Mr. Cameron. The vice dean glanced at the picture that Ning Xueli had presented, feeling quite embarrassed. As the vice dean of the Film Academy, he certainly recognized the person in the picture, the internationally renowned director James Cameron. Moreover, Spielberg, Ridley Scott, and Peter Jackson were also world-famous directors. Their works, such as Saving Private Ryan, Jurassic Park, Gladiator, King Kong, and The Lord of the Rings, were all top blockbusters that swept global box offices, receiving both critical and commercial success. With such world-class directors backing it, the authority of the Starlight Award was evident. As he watched Cameron kindly hand the trophy to the award recipient on screen, the vice dean felt as if he had swallowed a green fly. A work recognized by renowned foreign directors could only rank second in the internal evaluations of the Film Academy? How would the people react online if they found out about his role as a judge? The vice dean's expression was one of deep conflict. The meal was eaten, the money was in hand, and the watch was already on his wrist. One can't bite the hand that feeds them. With a deep breath, the vice dean resolved to stubbornly support dream chasing in the entertainment industry and maintaining its first place. Xiao Ning, we can't just take others' awards as mandates. The Academy has its own set of evaluation standards. Besides, Lu Lang's work is just an animated short. Hearing the vice dean's excuses, Ning Xueli couldn't help but sneer inwardly. He had already anticipated that this old man would react in this way. Vice dean, my memory seems to have failed me. I forgot to report another matter to you. Seeing Ning Xueli smiling, the vice dean felt an ominous premonition. Today, a reporter from the People's Daily came to the school for an exclusive interview. What's the matter? Why didn't you tell me about such an important issue sooner? The vice dean was startled. This was the most authoritative state media in the country. Having even a small piece published there would be a significant achievement, let alone a full interview. Wait, who are they interviewing? Isn't it about Lu Lang's award-winning work? I followed the interview team today and saw the title of their press release, Climbing the Peaks of Science Fiction, Steadily Moving Forward. Vice dean, this is good news. Ning Xueli's response hit the vice dean's heart like a hammer. In just over 10 seconds, a layer of cold sweat broke out on the vice dean's balding forehead. He could ignore the foreign awards Lu Lang received, which might only lead to some criticism from the public. But now, receiving recognition from the state media and being featured as a positive example in print was a different matter altogether. At this moment, if he, as the vice dean, continued to suppress Lu Lang, it would be equivalent to opposing the state media outright. Realizing the potential dire consequences, the vice dean's mind became alert. Xiao Ning, I've thought it over carefully these past few days, and you have a point. Lu Lang's work has garnered so much support in online voting. It must be something the public loves. He absolutely deserves to take first place. The vice dean's demeanor changed as if nothing had happened before. Yet inside, he lamented that he had completely fallen out with Bai Fei's wealthy father and was unsure how to resolve it. By the way, let's organize a report meeting featuring Lu Lang's achievements as soon as possible. Chapter 12. Bai Fei. Whatever, let's just go for it. When Bai Fei learned that his work had missed out on the top spot, finishing behind Lu Lang's Space Elevator Battle, his reaction was even calmer than he had imagined. Bai Fei is certainly not an old fossil like the deputy dean. He is quite aware of the status of the Starlight Award in the world of science fiction. So when he learned that Lu Lang's work had won the best short film at the Starlight Award, he was consumed with envy and jealousy. This award was judged by a panel of world-renowned directors such as Spielberg, Ridley Scott, and Peter Jackson. When he saw Cameron personally presenting the trophy to Lu Lang's representative and kindly offering his congratulations, Bai Fei wished he could have been the one on stage receiving that award. He would have even been willing to give up half of his father's wealth for it. The several million he had spent trying to secure the top honor for his graduation project now seemed trivial compared to the Starlight Award. It was like relying on a defense to gain recognition. So when he saw the report from the official media, he had already resigned himself to losing the top honor for his graduation project. Well, it wasn't too embarrassing. At least he could consider himself a peer of the Starlight Award winner. Bai Fei consoled himself with these thoughts. At this moment, he was only focused on ensuring that his first film would achieve as high a box office as possible. Liu Lang's sci-fi short film could not be shown in theaters. If his own film, Chasing Dreams in the entertainment industry, could achieve decent box office results, in a certain sense, he would have overshadowed Liu Lang. To this end, he persuaded his father to use their connections to convince several cinemas in the capital to increase the scale of the film's test screenings. Initially starting with over 10 cinemas, it grew to involve 3 cinema chains and over 200 theaters. The cost was signing a bet agreement. If the total box office was less than 5 million within a month, Bai Fei's side would have to pay the cinemas 10 million. Only if the total box office reached 12 million would they break even. For the cinemas, this was essentially a risk-free deal. Bai Fei could no longer think about the details. He had to ensure that his film would have a strong opening. However, reality soon doused his hopes. With a debut director and new actors, the film was just another cliché romantic drama. After removing the largest expense of actor salaries, the entire cost of Chasing Dreams in the entertainment industry was only a few $100,000. After a week of release, aside from the fans of the male lead, Lin Junyan, there were almost no additional ticket sales from general audiences. At this rate, not only would breaking 10 million at the box office seem impossible, even recouping the costs felt like a distant dream, and he was bound to lose the bet. Bai Fei began to feel anxious. Losing money was one thing, but the embarrassment was another. If his debut ended up being such a flop, how could he hold his head high in front of his family and classmates? In his panic, Bai Fei thought of Liu Lang and suddenly had an idea. He immediately contacted the managers of various cinemas and, out of his own pocket, had them replace the posters for Chasing Dreams in the entertainment industry. A peer of the Starlight Award winner, this autumn, come experience a heart-wrenching romance. Bai Fei added a blurb about Liu Lang on the poster. As Liu Lang's classmate and a fellow award winner, Bai Fei felt this introduction was quite reasonable. Thanks to the overwhelming promotion of the Starlight Award online, the new poster for Chasing Dreams in the entertainment industry has surprisingly performed well. Many people bought tickets simply because of the Starlight Award's reputation. In just one day, ticket sales more than doubled compared to the previous week. Seeing the new poster's success, Bai Fei felt a mix of emotions. He realized he had truly lost to Liu Lang. When he opened Douban to seek some comfort from the reviews, he found the situation seemed dire. Douban rating, 25. This must be a system error. The moment he saw the rating for Chasing Dreams in the entertainment industry, Bai Fei felt a rush of oxygen leave his brain. He had never seen a film with such a low rating. What the hell, a Starlight Award-winning senior produces this? It's just a low-budget cliché romance. Is the male lead disabled? His head is always tilted. If the space elevator battle deserves a score of 100, this movie gets a 1, and that 1 is for the lead actress with big assets. Hanging a sheep's head to sell dog meat. Exploiting the Starlight Award. Does this film even qualify? $30 just to feed the dog, haha. I declare, this is the real sci-fi film. It cured my insomnia that has troubled me for years. I fell asleep just 6 minutes into the movie. Really frustrating. I brought a date to watch this movie, thinking it was recommended by Liu Lang's studio, but it turned out to be such garbage. My date said my taste was terrible and left halfway through. Damn it, director. Compensate me with a wife. 5-star review. Don't let my eyes be the only ones polluted. If I can fool one person, that's a win. Bai Fei glanced over and was shocked to see almost all 1-star reviews. Occasionally, there were a few 2- or 3-star ratings. But those were only from fans of the male lead, Lin Junyan, who criticized the director while sympathizing with him. As for the 5-star ratings, they were all from trolls with ulterior motives. Bai Fei felt his breath quicken and blood rush to his head. You can't understand the character's growth journey, can you? Can you see the struggles of each character and their relentless pursuit of dreams under a multi-narrative structure? You are the worst audience I've ever encountered. Unable to hold back, Bai Fei began typing furiously, rebutting each review one by one. However, his actions only seemed to fan the flames, provoking even more outrage from the viewers who had seen the film. At this point, Bai Fei was beyond caring. He had lost the chance for a top graduation project, and his debut film was likely to be a financial failure. Now, viewers were nitpicking. If that was the case, then he would lash out. Bai Fei engaged in intense online battles with the critics, firing off thousands of replies over the course of a day. Such a hysterical director was unheard of for the netizens. In an instant, Bai Fei became known online in an entirely different way. After that, Lin Junyan's studio immediately issued a statement expressing regret over his participation in the film's production, citing the director's unilateral decisions as the reason for the film's subpar quality. From now on, the studio will be more cautious in selecting film projects, taking responsibility for fans and audiences. Upon seeing Lin Junyan's statement distancing himself from the project, Bai Fei nearly lost his cool, earning 4 million for just one day of attendance, while also having to contribute to promotional efforts and even give out red envelopes. Various scenes of arrogance began to flash in Bai Fei's mind. How could he tolerate such treatment? He completely tore apart the facade with Lin Junyan and started a public dispute online without caring about his image. Chapter 13. Predator drone Lu Lang never considered Bai Fei a rival. After winning the Star Award, the two were no longer competitors on the same level. However, even though Lu Lang was not concerned, under Bai Fei's hysterical actions, chasing dreams in the entertainment circle became a hot topic of discussion recently. At school and online, many people were using this film, which had an unprecedentedly low rating, as a conversation starter. If we talk about who suffered the most in this film besides Bai Fei, it would be the female lead, Wu Mingming. Unlike the male lead Lin Junyan, who could command a high fee of 4 million and had fans to defend him, she, like many of her classmates who were trying to ride on the coattails of a big-budget production, appeared in the film for no pay. After filming, many fans of Lin Junyan immediately sent her insulting messages online. While she could endure this, she never expected that upon the film's release, the negative reviews would flood in. The director was criticized, the male lead was criticized, and naturally, she, as the female lead, could not escape the ridicule and abuse from the vast number of online viewers. Wu Mingming felt extremely wronged. Having her debut labeled as the female lead of a bad film would create a significant psychological shadow for a newly graduated actress. What made her feel the most regretful was that her ex-boyfriend Lu Lang, whom she had initiated a breakup with, quietly won the Best Short Film at the Star Award. This award, known as the crown of global science fiction, has seen winners who are renowned directors in the science fiction genre worldwide. With the Star Award title, Lu Lang's future path in the film industry would undoubtedly be smooth. Just thinking about this made Wu Mingming's chest ache with regret. She had initially thought that entering the project single might give her a chance to get close to the popular Lin Junyan. Now, reflecting on her hasty decision to cut ties with Lu Lang left her feeling foolish. No, I must find a way to make amends. Wu Mingming thought long and hard, dressed up carefully, and headed to Lu Lang's apartment. Knock, knock, knock. The sound of knocking echoed as Lu Lang opened the door, surprised to find Wu Mingming standing there. What are you here for? Need to borrow money? He asked warily. During this period, Lu Lang had been harassed frequently, and after winning the Star Award, many classmates he barely knew started contacting him with excuses to borrow money. Wu Mingming's expression stiffened upon hearing this, but being a graduate of the performing arts, she quickly regained her composure and put on a smile. Can't I come to find you if nothing's going on? Are you really going to let me stand at the door without inviting me in to sit for a while? How rude. Her playful tone, coupled with a charming demeanor, sent shivers down Lu Lang's spine. This was quite troublesome. Lu Lang, fearing the gossip from other residents in the building, had no choice but to let Wu Mingming enter first. As soon as she stepped inside, she used the excuse of it being hot to take off her outer jacket. Underneath, she wore only a thin camisole that barely concealed her impressive figure. The sheer fabric rose and fell with her chest, deliberately showing off for Lu Lang. Lu Lang, I broke up with you to focus on making movies. Now that I've finished filming, I've realized that the glamour of the film industry isn't what I want. I still can't forget you. Lu Lang, let us get back together. Wu Mingming said passionately, even shedding a few tears at the corners of her eyes. Just as she felt proud of her acting skills, she caught sight of Lu Lang answering a phone call. No, I need to put in more effort. Wu Mingming steeled herself, deciding to sacrifice a bit more to completely ensnare Lu Lang. So, while Lu Lang was on the phone, she stripped down to just her minimal attire. She was ready to give herself to Lu Lang today. Sometimes, a woman has to be a bit ruthless with herself. Wu Mingming was incredibly confident in her figure and looks, believing that any man with a normal orientation would jump at the chance to be with her given her proactive approach. However, the unfolding of events took her completely by surprise. Lu Lang, after finishing the call, was overjoyed to learn that the prize for the Best Short Film at the Starry Awards was a staggering 700,000 dragon coins, which had just been credited to his account. He no longer had to worry about living expenses. Even more thrilling for him was that this 700,000 prize also counted as points. Now, his points balance could finally be exchanged for the high-tech products he had been longing for. At that moment, Lu Lang was so excited that his face flushed, his mind racing, and there was no blood left to support any other pursuits. He couldn't even muster any impulse upon seeing Wu Mingming sitting on the bed, posing seductively, her body glowing in the light. Lu Lang quickly approached her, and just as Wu Mingming closed her eyes, preparing for what she thought would be a storm of passion, Lu Lang gathered her scattered clothes from the bed and stuffed them into her arms. Before Wu Mingming could process what was happening, he pushed her out the door. I have something urgent to deal with today. Let us chat next time. With a loud bang, the door to the rental apartment was shut behind him. Dazed, Wu Mingming stood there in disbelief at what had just happened. The man in the room had been completely indifferent to her body. This made Wu Mingming, who had always been known as the campus beauty of the performing arts, question her own figure and appearance for the first time. He was so proactive. How could he do this? How could he act like this? At that moment, Wu Mengming's worldview, outlook on life, and values seemed to begin to collapse. Lu Lang's recent actions struck her with a blow even heavier than the defeat in chasing dreams in the entertainment circle. Lu Lang, are you still a man? Open the door for me. This blow completely unsettled Wu Mengming, and she fell apart, continually banging on the door of Lu Lang's rented room. However, Lu Lang inside was oblivious, his attention completely captured by another matter. Current points related to the movie The Wandering Earth, 708. 693, Black Technology List, Drone, without AI control system, redemption price 500,000 points. After Lu Lang selected the Black Technology Predator drone from The Wandering Earth and redeemed it, a flood of technological knowledge about the Predator drone surged into his mind, as if he had received enlightenment from a martial arts novel. In just over 10 seconds, Lu Lang mastered all the knowledge needed to manufacture the Predator drone. This feeling was incredibly satisfying. Compared to the trivial matters of reproduction between men and women, the unprecedented sensation of being inundated with vast amounts of knowledge felt even more exhilarating. After the enlightenment ended, a 1:1 3D model of the Predator drone appeared in Lu Lang's mind. It was a large military drone with an 83-meter wingspan, 8 meters in length, and about 19 meters in height. Chapter 14. You guessed it, but not completely right. The Predator drone. As a drone extensively equipped by the coalition government army in the movie The Wandering Earth, can execute terrifying swarm tactics with the support of the 550 series artificial intelligence. It relies on its own large-caliber cannon and various missiles to conduct encirclement operations against target units. Its combat power is undoubtedly formidable. But compared to the other black technologies in the Wandering Earth worldview that require millions, tens of millions, or even hundreds of millions of points for redemption, the mere 500,000 points required for the Predator drone is trivial. Lu Lang analyzed and concluded that the lack of a supporting AI control system was the key reason. For drones to gain air superiority in warfare, not only do they need a large number to support swarm tactics, but the main control AI system that operates these drones is also crucial. The black technology Predator drone that Lu Lang redeemed only comes with a basic active operation mode. This is also a key reason why it is so inexpensive. However, Lu Lang had no disdain for it. Compared to the current technological level of the world, the technology of the Predator drone undoubtedly surpassed all types of drones, whether military or civilian. Moreover, compared to other complex black technology items, the architecture of the Predator drone is relatively simple. Lu Lang is able to modify and process real-world objects through a movie technology system, even quickly assembling a brand new Predator drone by purchasing drone parts online. The thought of being able to create those sci-fi drones from his videos in reality excited him immensely. The prize money from the Starlight Award for Best Short Film had also arrived, and with 700,000 Dragon coins, he could easily assemble a Predator drone. However, Lu Lang still needed to solve another problem. He had to consider renting a larger place. The Predator drone is no toy, with a wingspan of 83 meters, a length of 8 meters, and a height of 19 meters. It is undoubtedly a massive object among drones. It was unrealistic for Lu Lang to assemble it in his current rental apartment. After searching on his phone, he quickly found a rundown factory located in the outskirts of the capital. The space was large, the rent was low, and he wouldn't have to worry about disturbing neighbors. The only downside was its remote location, but Lu Lang didn't mind that at all. After paying 3 months' rent, he tidied up his apartment, took his 100,000 yuan computer, and hailed a cab to his new residence. Wu Mengming had already left by the time he returned, which Lu Lang was pleased about, as it saved him the trouble of explanations. The taxi ride took a full hour before it finally delivered Lu Lang to his destination. The rundown factory was situated in a secluded area, with only a few old, barely functioning factories nearby, no other neighbors. The vast expanse of land was overgrown with weeds. The only place left for Lu Lang to live was a makeshift metal house converted from a shipping container. To his surprise, the dilapidated factory also housed some metalworking equipment, including welding machines, cutters, and pneumatic hammers. The successful exchange of the Predator drone technology allowed Lu Lang to temporarily set aside his plans for making a second video. He decided to first construct a Predator drone. The parts and materials needed for the drone could be purchased online, so Lu Lang placed his orders. For items that were unavailable, he would make them himself using the tools and equipment. With a complete set of production processes, blueprints, and various related scientific knowledge about the Predator drone ingrained in his mind, Lu Lang found the operations to be quite manageable. Over the next few days, as materials and components arrived from his online orders, the Predator drone he was assembling gradually took shape. Lu Lang was not spending energy to create this Predator drone just for fun. The funding needed for a movie like The Wandering Earth was enormous. Lu Lang roughly estimated that, even without considering any special effects or CGI costs, it would require at least 100 million. Therefore, the biggest issue facing Lu Lang was still a lack of funds. Thanks to the Starlight Award, his fan base on a certain video platform had surpassed 5 million. With such a large number of followers, Lu Lang began to think about how to monetize this. Taking on advertisements and promoting products were two of the most direct and quick ways to do so. However, Lu Lang was unwilling to accept those who claimed to be his brothers and came to promote his online game advertisements, or to endorse counterfeit and inferior products. He planned to represent himself and promote the high-tech model he created, the Predator drone. However, he wasn't sure if the Predator drone would be favored by the market. He decided to shoot a video first to gauge market reaction. The title of Lu Lang's video was still very plain: real footage of the Predator drone prototype. After uploading it to the platform, it was quickly noticed by the operational team. Due to the phenomenon-level sensation caused by Lu Lang's previous video, Space Elevator Battle. Along with the honor of winning the Best Short Film at the Starlight Awards, he had become a key content creator promoted by the platform. Thanks to the recommendation of Lu Zitao, the head of the domestic creation zone. Once the video was released and approved, it was immediately given priority in playback resources, pushing it to the browsing interface of all online users. Within just 5 minutes, it attracted millions of viewers. Wow, the master finally released a new video. Can CG special effects animation be produced this quickly? High output Sao. Calm down, this isn't CG effects, it's real footage. Don't you guys even read the title? A series of comments flooded the screen, and in the video, Lu Lang began to introduce the protagonist of this video, the Predator drone prototype, placed on the ground. Its silver-gray heavy metal shell bore traces of metal welding, giving it a rugged industrial aesthetic design. For large circular rotors were distributed on both sides of the body, and two rectangular engine exhaust nozzles looked like the drone's eyes, watching ahead. The appearance of such an industrial sci-fi drone immediately captured the attention of all viewers. Looks pretty cool. It seems huge. What model is this? Wow, I recognize it. Isn't this the drone from the Space Elevator Battle? Awesome. You really built it? Isn't that CG animation? Even though the prototype had not been painted, its unique style was recognized by sharp-eyed viewers. I knew it. These content creators start harvesting fans as soon as they get famous. Just wait, this will definitely be another model seller trying to scam fans. Amidst the tidal wave of comments, there were always some who felt that they were the only ones awake among the crowd, speculating about Lu Lang's next moves like conspiracy theorists. Lu Lang smiled slightly at the comments on the video. You guessed right, but not entirely. Just as the comments debated whether to support the content creator's actions, the rotors of the Predator drone, which had been resting on the ground, began to spin. Within seconds, with a buzzing sound, this large drone with a wingspan of 83 meters shot up into the sky like a bullet. Wow, it's not a model. This is a real drone. Chapter 15. The boy chasing kites. The flood of comments surged instantly on the video screen as the Predator drone took off. Just when almost everyone thought that the Predator drone on the field was just an immobile model, Lu Lang in the video began to control it for rapid maneuvers in the air. Such a large drone must weigh 3 or 4 tons, right? Is the endurance reliable? I hope it doesn't just fall after flying for a few minutes. I'm an amateur model enthusiast. I bowed down to the master. Not to mention, for such a heavy and large model to have this kind of maneuverability is simply absurd. I strongly suggest adding those cannons and missiles from the CGI animation. I would be willing to pay $100,000 to buy it. If that's not enough, I can add more. If it is, then forget I said anything. Manual Doghead. Isn't this way cooler than those commercial drones? I suggest the creator polish it well, take down the competitors in 3 years, enter the international arms market in 5 years, and dominate the skies in 10 years. Various playful comments continuously floated across the video. Based on the performance of the Predator drone in the video, the audience was surprised, but that was about it. They regarded it merely as a flying model resembling the sci-fi drones from the Space Elevator Battle. Compared to established drone manufacturers in the market, Lu Lang's Predator drone was just a slightly larger version. To truly capture the interest of the majority of ordinary viewers and get them to buy it, the current performance was far from sufficient. Then, the scene flashed, revealing aerial footage from the Predator drone. As it flew higher, the various buildings on the ground became smaller. Within just a few minutes, the Predator drone had ascended above the clouds, and everything on the ground became hazy. My goodness, how high is it flying? At least 1,000 meters. Not just 1,000 meters. My drone that cost over 10,000 doesn't fly as high as this one. Be careful, creator. This is near the capital, right? The airspace above 500 meters is radar recognition territory. I'm really worried you might get taken away by the military police. The audience in the comments discussed enthusiastically, marveling at the performance of the Predator drone and Lu Lang's boldness. This Predator drone was merely a prototype due to material procurement limitations, currently only capable of cruising at 5,000 meters for 3 hours. Wow, is this even real? If it can cruise at 5,000 meters with the right materials, can it go up to 7 or 8,000 meters? Did the creator build a fighter jet? 3 hours of endurance. At 5,000 meters. Wow, if what the master says is true, then my $20,000 drone is just a children's toy in comparison. I don't believe it. If you can keep it flying for more than 2 hours, I'll send you a $2,000 gift. Lu Lang in the video, of course, could not see these comments in advance, and continued to introduce the performance of his Predator drone. In addition to its endurance and cruising altitude, the Predator drone also featured a device inside its shell that could resist radar radiation waves, effectively shielding it from detection by most radar bands. This device has a strong ability to resist small-scale electromagnetic pulses. Before the test flight of the Predator drone, Lu Lang certainly considered the issue of radar air defense identification. However, the Predator drone possesses formidable capabilities to shield against radar signal detection, allowing it to easily evade radar monitoring of the airspace. Wow, if this technology is real, wouldn't it be tempting for others? After all, their stealth capabilities are not impressive at all. Unbelievable. This seems to be true. It's been almost an hour, and the uploader hasn't been caught yet. This is supposedly near the capital, in such a sensitive area. It's impossible that no one is monitoring it. As time passed, the Predator drone continued to cruise steadily at an altitude of 4,000 to 5,000 meters. Viewers had no choice but to believe that this large drone indeed possessed extraordinary radar evasion capabilities. At the end of the video, Lu Lang also showcased the drone's impressive payload capacity. Without additional cannons and various air-to-air and ground-to-ground missiles, the Predator drone could easily carry 1,000 to 1,500 kilograms of cargo while cruising. Compared to the previously introduced radar evasion capabilities, this ability was undoubtedly more appealing to the average audience. Such a high payload capacity? Wow. If the price is right, I'd buy one. Isn't it cheaper than buying a car? Adding a passenger cabin. Flying home for the holidays in this would be much more impressive than any luxury car. That makes sense. I'm always stuck in traffic during holidays. I'm fed up with it. If it's under 100,000, I'd buy one too. Hello, I live in Shunli village in the Daliang Mountains. Because it's mountainous with complex terrain, we still don't have a road today. The villagers rely on carrying supplies on their backs. And every year someone falls off a cliff because of this. I'm the only university student in the village who made it through studying. I've saved 60,000 yuan from working these past 2 years. I wonder if 60,000 is enough to buy one of these drones. If it's not, I can write you an IOU and work to pay you back. I don't want the villagers who helped me study to suffer anymore. As the video ended, Lu Lang checked the comments below to see the audience's feedback on the Predator drone. Among the many astonished and praising comments, Lu Lang noticed one from Shunli village in the Daliang Mountains. He felt a momentary emotional tug. Perhaps, besides making money, I should also do something meaningful? After thinking for a while, Lu Lang clicked on the profile of the user named Kite Chaser and initiated a private chat. Lu Lang, hello, I'm the creator of this video. Can you provide something to prove your identity? Lu Lang certainly wouldn't trust a stranger unreservedly based on a single message. The boy named Kite Chaser was thrilled to receive Lu Lang's private message and immediately sent a large amount of evidence to the chat box. The document includes dozens of certificates spanning over a decade, along with the other party's educational credentials, graduation certificate, and their identification card images. Additionally, there are numerous photos of their life in their hometown village and at school. Finally, to prove their identity, the other party even added Lu Lang on WeChat for a video call. After seeing the continuous mountains behind the other party, Lu Lang finally believed them. Send me your location. I'll come find you in a few days. Master, I haven't paid yet. Please give me the payment account. The signal is bad. I can't hear you clearly. Let's talk later. Upon hearing this, Lu Lang used the poor signal as an excuse and hung up the phone. Chapter 16. What does this mean? Lu Lang did not intend to accept the other party's money. In fact, he hadn't even considered what price to set. The prototype of the Predator drone he handcrafted cost about 23,000 yuan in total. If it could be mass-produced later, the cost could be significantly reduced. After planning his trip, Lu Lang disassembled the large prototype, packed it up, and contacted a long-distance freight truck to head to the mountainous area where the boy who flew kites was located. After a period of intensive work on CG animation and various activities following receiving the Starlight Award, Lu Lang felt he should take some time to relax. This trip to the mountains was treated as a vacation. Once the real-life video of the prototype was released, it immediately attracted widespread attention online. Ordinary viewers were simply entertained, impressed that Lu Lang could create sci-fi items from the space elevator battle in the real world. However, those involved in model aircraft and drone technology, as well as researchers in radar technology, understood just how formidable the Predator drone in the video truly was. It wasn't long before even the internet police began to take notice of the video. Director Lu, We found a video online where the creator made a drone that seems to have the ability to shield military radar signals. Where was it found? The video first appeared on a certain video sharing platform. Upon hearing the name of the platform, director Liu, who had initially looked serious, relaxed his posture. Are you being too sensitive? Do you think those video creators on that platform have the capability to make such high-tech devices? It's no wonder director Liu looked down on that platform. As the head of an internet regulatory agency, he was well aware of it. The target audience of that platform is primarily teenagers, and the average age of those video creators is quite low. Even within the technology category of that platform, the technological content in the creators' videos is often surprisingly low. The truly popular tech videos tend to be about humorous or entertaining useless inventions. Furthermore, many inventions that seem technologically advanced often have signs of visual deception upon closer inspection, failing to hold up under scrutiny. Director Liu. We contacted the relevant person in charge of that platform and learned that this video creator has quite a notable background. They just recently received the prestigious Foreign Sci-Fi Award, the Starlight Award for Best Short Film. Liu's attitude finally became serious as he roughly fast-forwarded through the video titled Prototype Footage of the Predator Drone. Is it possible that this video was fabricated by the other party? After all, they specialize in video CG effects, so it's not out of the question. Liu furrowed his brow and analyzed. The technical team had already conducted a frame-by-frame analysis, ruling out the possibility of visual manipulation. Moreover, I contacted a colleague at the radar detection station in the capital, and they confirmed that on the day the video was released, there were indeed no alarms triggered in the radar air defense identification zone near the capital. Listening to his subordinates eliminate one possibility after another, Liu's expression turned unusually grave. The large drone in the video had entered the radar air defense monitoring area of the capital without any restrictions. Furthermore, the other party even dared to publish the video online, which was a blatant provocation to the regulatory authorities. Get to the bottom of this. I want to know everything about this individual by noon. Additionally, instruct the action team to monitor his movements and be ready to apprehend him at any time. Regarding national defense security, Liu did not dare to be careless and issued a series of commands. Just an hour later, detailed information related to Liu Lang arrived on Liu's desk. Liu Lang, male, 22 years old, graduated from the capital's film academy, with his graduation work titled Space Elevator Battle. This work won the Best Short Film at the prestigious International Sci-Fi Starlight Awards and was interviewed by state media last week. Family background. Both parents work for a state-owned enterprise in Ningxing, with one younger sister studying finance management at Ningxing University, a junior, graduating next year. As for relatives, acquaintances, Liu Lang's information was flawless, showing no vulnerabilities. The entire family had no travel records, and his parents had never left Ning province in their lives. Liu Lang's profile was mostly unremarkable until he began to stand out after graduating from university. How could a filmmaker possibly create high-tech equipment that can jam military radar signals? Looking at the impeccable information in front of him, Liu felt puzzled and at a loss. At that moment, a member of the action team approached him with a strange expression and said, "Director, our people have been sent back." Liu's expression changed, anger boiling inside him as he slammed his hands on the desk. Which department is being so uncooperative? If we lose track of the target, can they bear the consequences? Director, it's the people from the Security Bureau. Hearing the mention of the Security Bureau, Liu's previously furious expression suddenly froze. Why do you have to split your sentences? Can't you just say it all at once? He glared at the action team member, and his mood gradually relaxed. The Security Bureau naturally had higher authority than the cyber police. Since Liu Lang had people from the Security Bureau following him, there was no need for him to worry further. There had never been a case of failure with spies or traitors under the watch of the Security Bureau. For a moment, Liu even hoped that he had misunderstood Liu Lang. In the capital, at the headquarters of a certain company, as a unicorn company in the drone sector, DJI holds a dominant position in the industry. This advantage is closely tied to the efforts of the company's researchers, but it also reflects the company's keen sense of industry trends. The general manager recently heard about a popular video related to drones that he felt he needed to watch. Wang Hao took the tablet from his assistant, frowning at the description of the CG animation model. He didn't believe that a model created by an individual could pose a threat to the company's dominance in the drone business. However, knowing his assistant for many years, he understood there must be a reason behind this suggestion. So, Wang Hao put on his glasses and began to watch carefully. The large body of the Predator drone, with its industrial metallic style, did not catch his attention. Over the years, he had seen many flashy drone designs attempting to challenge the company's products. However, when the Predator drone suddenly shot up into the sky like a missile, Wang Hao couldn't help but squint. He sensed a threat. The subsequent display of high-altitude cruising, endurance, and heavy payload capabilities confirmed for him that this drone would be a formidable competitor. When he learned that the Predator drone had evaded the radar monitoring systems around the capital, Wang Hao turned to his assistant in disbelief. The assistant nodded slowly. Wang Hao's expression immediately turned to one of shock. Chapter 17. The living canary evading radar detection around the capital might not mean much to an average person. But as a senior executive at DJI, Wang Hao understood its significance. The main difference between civilian and military aircraft is not whether they carry weapons, but whether they can be easily detected by radar. This is why stealth capability is the most important criterion when evaluating the performance of fifth-generation fighter jets. The Su-57, despite its maneuverability and firepower being on par with competitors, is mocked as only a 4.5-generation fighter due to its outdated stealth features. The Predator drone, capable of entering the air defense identification zone near the capital without being detected, indicated that it had the ability to evade military radar surveillance. This is something civilian drones are absolutely not allowed to do. Initially, Wang Hao thought about how to use business tactics to acquire this potential competitor and eliminate the threat early on. However, upon realizing that the other party might possess capabilities to evade military radar, Wang Hao understood that this matter had transcended commercial competition. It involved national defense security, far beyond his ability to intervene. Its power system and structural design could have been greatly beneficial to our company. What a pity, he said, feigning disappointment while promptly shutting off the tablet screen. He knew he had to steer clear of any issue that could potentially bring catastrophic consequences to the company. However, as the saying goes, what you fear will come. Not long after, the assistant came again to report that someone from the National Security Agency was visiting. As a leading company in the high-tech drone industry, the firm was not unfamiliar with the security agency. In fact, some important research personnel within the company were under the protection of agency agents. However, the unannounced visit this time left Wang Hao somewhat puzzled. Colonel Shirley, is there something you need to discuss? Wang Hao looked at the middle-aged man sitting across from him, dressed in a traditional suit, with neatly cropped hair and a resolute expression. To make a long story short, have you heard of the Predator drone? Upon hearing this familiar name, Wang Hao's eyelids twitched. It sounds a bit familiar, but I'm not very clear about it. Shirley ignored his response and continued to introduce the impressive attributes of the Predator drone. After finishing the introduction, he finally asked Wang Hao, Manager Wang, is your company interested in acquiring this technology? Yes, we are very interested. But when it comes to technology that could threaten national defense, even if Wang Hao was bold, he wouldn't dare to agree. Colonel Shirley, we are a law-abiding civil drone company. We have always firmly rejected any technology that may involve national defense. Rest assured, the company has never and will never engage in any business outside of civil technology in the future. You can go ahead with the acquisition. Shirley's words caught Wang Hao off guard, leaving him stunned. I can't make that decision. I need to consult the board. Then please do it quickly. Wang Hao hurriedly contacted the company's rotating chairman. However, the other party seemed unsurprised by the matter and simply instructed him to fully cooperate with the agency's personnel before hanging up. Putting down the phone, Wang Hao saw Shirley's calm demeanor as if everything was under control. Only then did he realize that he had been kept in the dark. After finalizing communication with the firm, Shirley prepared to return. The security agency's actions were much quicker than those of the cyber police. In fact, while the cyber police were searching for Lu Lang's information, the security agency's agents had already begun their actions. However, Shirley, the head of the agency, found it quite troublesome to figure out how to approach Lu Lang. If Lu Lang were a researcher in a scientific department, everything would be straightforward. They could identify themselves as part of the agency, transfer Lu Lang to a higher-level confidential research institution for protection, provide him with all necessary research conveniences, and significantly enhance the welfare benefits for him and his family. This series of responses had precedents to follow. But Lu Lang was not a researcher. He was even a graduate of a film academy, completely unrelated to scientific research. Additionally, according to the agency's investigation, Lu Lang had just broken up with his girlfriend. From his ex-girlfriend Wu Mengming's statements, it seemed that Lu Lang might have experienced psychological trauma due to the breakup. Otherwise, there would be no explanation for why he would ruthlessly kick out Wu Mengming, who had offered to be devoted to him. Lu Lang's sci-fi short film won the internationally renowned Starlight Award, which somewhat qualifies him as a public figure. In light of this identity and the complex psychological situation of the target, the psychological experts from the security agency suggested a soft approach. This means engaging in actual contact under an unofficial capacity to avoid provoking any rebellious sentiments from the other party. Although it sounds absurd that the security agency would be so cautious with a young student who just graduated from college, Shirley had to admit that the analysts had a point. Lu Lang was no longer just an inconsequential student. He had become an important figure who possessed technology that could threaten national defense security. Shirley had to be prudent. Call the top wolf. Canary has left the nest. Canary has left the nest. Just as Shirley was about to leave, he heard a remote satellite communication call. Upon hearing that the canary had left the nest, his expression turned grave. A subordinate quickly handed him a tactical tablet, which displayed high-precision real-time satellite imagery. A truck was driving on the road out of the city, and it was possible to vaguely see that it was carrying disassembled components of a certain type of drone. Boss, the destination is Daliang Mountain, on the southwestern border. This kid can't be planning to defect, can he? Hearing his subordinate's words, Shirley's expression grew even more serious. Give me the southwestern theater, enter a state of first-level alert. Seal off the border. Any unidentified suspicious personnel found can be shot on the spot. Armed helicopters from the military district along the way are on standby, ready to assist in the pursuit. The action team will closely follow the target vehicle and deploy 2 reconnaissance satellites to keep a firm watch on the target. A series of orders were issued from Shirley's mouth. As the head of the security agency, he was granted the authority to mobilize wartime command in localized areas during emergencies. Boss, won't this cause too much commotion? One subordinate voiced his concern upon hearing about the first-level alert. Shirley ignored him. The impact of losing Lu Lang was far more significant than the consequences of entering a first-level alert. Additionally, I'll repeat, we must ensure the target's safety. I want the canary alive. Chapter 18. The eerie transaction site. Lu Lang was unaware that his inadvertent actions had triggered such a large-scale response. In reality, there have been incidents where drones flew at excessive altitudes and faced related law enforcement penalties, usually resulting in fines of a few hundred yuan and verbal warnings. Lu Lang thought that if the prototype drone was discovered during its test flight, the worst outcome would be a similar treatment. It would be even better if the radar jamming device on board could function effectively. However, he never expected that the jamming device on the drone worked so well that even military radars could not detect it. The journey from the capital to Daliang Mountain was long, and the truck would take 2 days and nights on the highway to arrive. If it weren't for the large size of the drone making it difficult to transport, Lu Lang would have flown there long ago. After traveling for a while, when they finally reached the mountainous basin area, Lu Lang could no longer hold back and decided to get off the truck early. The roads in the basin mountainous area are winding and intricate, and Lu Lang simply lacks the patience to follow the truck at a slow pace. After assembling the prototype of the drone by the roadside, Lu Lang climbed onto it and maneuvered the drone to fly swiftly towards his destination. The drone ascended and quickly vanished into the night. This left the agents from the Security Bureau's action team, who had been following Lu Lang, stunned. To avoid detection, the pursuit vehicles had maintained a considerable distance from the truck Lu Lang was on. By the time they sensed something was wrong and accelerated to catch up, it was already too late. The lead wolf, the canary, has flown away. Repeat, the canary has flown away. Upon hearing the report from his subordinate, Shirley, who hadn't slept all night, was furious. 18 people, 6 vehicles, and they still lost track? In his anger, Shirley no longer cared about using code names. Boss, there's really no way. That guy has truly flown away. Not long after, Shirley received a photo on his tactical tablet, showing Lu Lang aboard the drone, taking off under the cover of night. Lu Lang flew in a straight line on the drone, crossing over mountains, and soon arrived at the location sent by the boy chasing the kite. It was a small town nestled in a forested valley, surrounded by steep mountain ranges, with only a narrow concrete road connecting it to the outside world. By the time Lu Lang arrived, it was nearly midnight. After checking into the only hotel in town, he collapsed into a deep sleep. Just as Lu Lang entered dreamland, chaos erupted over the southwestern airspace. Hundreds of armed helicopters began low-altitude searches in the area where Lu Lang had disappeared. Higher up, fighter jets occasionally zoomed past. Meanwhile, in the more distant border area, a high-alert mobilization order was issued, and hundreds of thousands of armed police and soldiers were being transported to the border region. A large number of tanks and armored vehicles were on standby nearby. Any unidentified personnel appearing in this area would face the most severe searches, and any signs of resistance would result in immediate execution. This massive military mobilization, even occurring in the dead of night, still drew considerable public attention. Some said it was a drug bust, others speculated it was to crack down on smuggling, and there were even rumors about preparing to cross the border to combat telecom fraud. The onlookers eagerly indulged in wild guesses. After waking up, Lu Lang sent a message to the boy chasing the kite, and then began to wander around the town. Compared to the previous night, there were a few off-road vehicles with out-of-town license plates. However, Lu Lang paid no mind to them. The town's various natural landscapes and facilities captured his attention more. The large prototype drone was parked in the open area in front of the hotel. A dog chain nearby was barking furiously at the massive drone, as if it were an intruder in its territory. Meanwhile, a group of snot-nosed children gathered around the drone, marveling at this piece of sci-fi industrial design. In their worldview, the rumbling tractor had once been the largest mechanical creation they had ever seen. Now, however, this massive drone had completely overturned their understanding. Breathing in the fresh air, rich with the scent of the surrounding mountains and forests, devoid of any industrial pollution, Lu Lang felt an experience entirely different from his time in the capital. Although he found it somewhat pretentious, he still felt that his body and mind had been cleansed. Unable to resist, he took a photo that captured the predator drone. The clear and pure-eyed child without any impurities, and the endless mountains and forests in the distance. After adding the words taking the prototype out for a breather, he posted the selfie on his social media, giving his followers an account of what he had been up to during his disappearance. Damn, this kid can't really be out here on vacation, can he? A special agent from the security bureau in a distant jeep exclaimed, dumbfounded. Due to Lu Lang's disappearance, they had searched frantically for hours. Ultimately, it was Lu Lang's registration at a local hotel that led them to him. Exhausted after a night of searching, the agents now realized that their target was merely out for a holiday. Warning, an unplanned stranger is approaching the target. The report came in. The stranger was 20 meters away from the target. Should action be taken? The detection equipment indicated that the individual was unarmed. Wait, hold off on action. Inside the jeep, the agents nervously watched the interaction between the two. The stranger pulled out a paper package containing cash. Were they about to start a transaction? The agents perked up, estimating there to be about 50 to 100,000 in cash. Wait, there were also 50 and 20 yuan bills present, meaning the actual amount was less than they had anticipated. Meanwhile, Shirley, who was stationed further away and commanding the operation, felt something was off as he listened to the reports through his earpiece. This small amount of money was being exchanged for equipment capable of jamming military radar signals? Wait, an unexpected situation has arisen. Hearing this, Shirley shot up from his seat. What unexpected situation? I don't know how to describe it upon hearing this. Shirley was so anxious that he wished he could punch the agent through the electromagnetic waves. What do you mean you don't know how to describe it? Is this your first day on duty? Boss, it seems the target is unwilling to accept the money from the other side. But they seem insistent on giving it. The agents present had witnessed transaction situations at least 30 to 50 times. And never had they seen such a bizarre scene where tensions were not high, with a standoff atmosphere. Even Shirley was taken aback. Chapter 19. Lu Lang. I report myself, boss. The tech team has hacked into the back end of the social media platform. We found these chat records in the target's account just then. One of Shirley's subordinates reported the latest intelligence. Looking at the long list of chat records and images appearing on the tactical tablet, Shirley finally understood why Lu Lang had traveled such a long distance to this remote place. It was not for tourism, nor was it absurdly to engage in dealings with any foreign forces, but to help a poor mountain village in the Daliang Mountains. Boss, the target is leaving the town with an unfamiliar man, and the drone has also been taken away by them. Should we initiate action? The action team agents on standby were unaware of the chat records that Shirley had seen. No need to monitor anymore. The frontline action team is to suspend operations. The second-line snipers are to withdraw as well. The armed helicopters and armored vehicles on the periphery are also to return to base. Upon hearing Shirley's orders, hundreds of agents in the vicinity of the town were taken aback. It should be noted that a comprehensive mobilization had taken place in the entire southwestern theater over the past 2 days for Lu Lang. Not only were there up to 1,000 agents and military police lurking around this town, but there were also over 100,000 armed military police and numerous mechanized armored units conducting thorough inspections for potential foreign infiltration in the more distant southwestern border area. This commotion had even alerted neighboring countries, prompting them to issue diplomatic notes. Such a large-scale operation seemed poised to come to an abrupt halt with Shirley's words. This left the action team agents on site somewhat perplexed. Although they did not know what had happened, the orders had been given, and the various units lurking around the town withdrew from the combat readiness sequence as planned. As the target, Lu Lang was now heading towards Victory Village, guided by a young boy who was good at kite flying. In the mountains, the roads were rugged and difficult to navigate. The short distance of just over 10 kilometers took far longer than it would on flat terrain. Fortunately, the drone Lu Lang carried could ignore the rough terrain and fly directly over it. Upon reaching the foot of Victory Village, Lu Lang finally witnessed the perilousness of the mountain road. The path carved along the cliff could barely accommodate one person, and a moment's inattention could lead to a fall off the cliff. Villagers could only carry goods weighing under 60 kilograms into the village at a time. Exceeding that would significantly increase the risk of falling. Though the village had electricity, the road into the village could not be constructed due to the high costs and difficulties of construction. Victory Village was a small settlement with only a couple of hundred households, and the expensive costs of road construction were beyond the local government's financial capability. Why not relocate? Lu Lang asked with some confusion. The older generation was deeply rooted and resistant to relocation. They had lived here for hundreds of years, and the way of life in the mountains was ingrained in their bones. Moreover, with low educational levels and being a minority ethnic group, it was very difficult for them to integrate into the outside world. The kite-flying boy gave a bitter smile. He was the only university student to come out of the entire Victory Village. He wanted to change the situation in Victory Village, but didn't he know how to start? The video that Lu Lang posted on a video platform gave him a glimmer of hope. The Predator drone, capable of carrying over a ton of cargo, even just one unit, can significantly reduce the casualties in the village caused by falls from cliffs each year. At the call of a boy chasing a kite, the villagers, who had been waiting for a long time, carefully stacked the goods they purchased from outside the mountains onto the drone's makeshift cargo platform. As the Predator drone took off and ascended, gradually becoming a small dot in the sky, the villagers' hearts raced with anxiety. The cargo piled on top often represented the results of a year's hard work in the mountains and would serve as essential supplies for a family in the village for a long time to come. Under Lu Lang's control, the Predator drone sped away with the supplies, reaching the clearing in the mountaintop village in just a few minutes. Through the drone's camera, the villagers at the mountaintop looked up in awe at the flying machine. With the help of the boy with the kite, the cargo loaded on the drone was successfully unloaded. The entire loading and unloading process took less than 10 minutes. In just over an hour, Lu Lang managed to facilitate the transportation of goods for the villagers using the drone. In the past, at this time, villagers burdened with heavy loads would only be halfway up the mountain. Moreover, without the need to carry heavy items, it would be nearly impossible for the villagers, who lived in the mountains for years, to experience falls from cliffs again. Witnessing the drone successfully transport supplies to the mountain, the boy chasing the kite was so moved that tears streamed down his face. In their conversation, Lu Lang learned that the boy's father had also fallen from a cliff while carrying heavy loads into the mountains. After losing his father, he relied on the support of the villagers to gradually leave the mountains and became the first college student in the village. Lu Lang felt a wave of emotion. After teaching the boy how to operate the Predator drone, Lu Lang returned to the small town amidst the boy's farewell. Unbeknownst to Lu Lang, agents from the Security Bureau's action team silently observed the unfolding scenes. They never expected that Lu Lang had traveled all the way from the capital to this remote and impoverished area solely to support the villagers. This realization filled many agents, who had hoped to achieve results after the operation began, with a sense of shame. He didn't even take the money for the drone. I really should be ashamed. Those who had once doubted Lu Lang's loyalty felt even more regret. Lu Lang's awareness and actions undoubtedly confirmed that they had underestimated his character. After returning to the town, Lu Lang stayed another day at the local inn, only to realize he had forgotten to consider how to leave. Having already given the Predator drone to the boy chasing the kite, he felt embarrassed to ask for it back. He could only contact a driver who delivered goods into the mountains through the inn's owner, planning to leave later with the truck. Subsequently, Lu Lang checked his Bilibili account. However, aside from fans urging him to update and sell the Predator drone, there were no messages from the official source. Since the upload of the video titled "Live Footage of the Predator Drone Prototype," many fans in the comments have kindly reminded me of the drone's large size, extremely high cruising altitude, and its suspected ability to evade radar monitoring in air defense identification zones, which may be in violation of regulations or even laws. This has intimidated Lu Lang, who was planning to accumulate funds for filming a live-action movie by selling drones, forcing him to postpone his plans. Strange. Is it possible that the Predator drone is not significant enough to attract the attention of cybersecurity authorities? Days have passed, yet no official has contacted him. This led the inexperienced Lu Lang to think that fans were just trying to scare him, unaware of how alarming his Predator drone might appear to professionals. Although he had absorbed a lot of scientific knowledge about the Predator drone, he still had the mindset of an ordinary college student. So, he decided to create a secondary account to test the response of the regulatory authorities in the comments section. Just as Lu Lang was fiddling with his phone, several off-road vehicles with out-of-town license plates parked in the small town opened their doors. Chapter 20. Film School. Unfamiliar with radar electromagnetic waves. Hello, are you Mr. Lu Lang? Lu Lang looked up to see several sharply dressed individuals who appeared out of place among the town's residents, greeting him. Behind them, the doors of the off-road vehicles had not fully closed. Upon noticing this, Lu Lang immediately became alert, recalling that these vehicles had been parked in the town since this morning. However, he wasn't overly worried. The local police station was only a few hundred meters away, and many locals were curiously observing them. Lu Lang didn't believe they would dare to do anything illegal in public. It's me, what's the matter? My name is Wang Hao, and this is my assistant and security advisor. I would like to represent a certain company to discuss the authorization of drone technology in your video. A man in a suit with gold-rimmed glasses spoke slowly. When he introduced the security advisor, Lu Lang couldn't help but glance at him again, as the deep dark circles under the man's eyes were quite striking. Hearing the name of the company, Lu Lang's eyes lit up. Although he didn't have extensive knowledge of drones before creating the Predator drone, the name of this leading company in the civilian drone industry was quite well known. Originally, his plan was to gain fan attention through the live footage of the Predator drone prototype and then launch a crowdfunding campaign for it to gather funds. He intended to contact reliable factories to mass-produce the materials for the Predator drone, followed by bulk assembly. Ultimately, he aimed to sell the drones to secure funding for filming the movie. However, when he actually attempted to execute this plan, he realized that every step involved was far from simple, without even mentioning how to find reliable manufacturers and the time-consuming assembly tasks. Just obtaining the qualifications for mass production of the Predator drone was a significant challenge. The Predator drone was no mere plastic toy or figurine. With a wingspan of 83 meters, a length of 8 meters, and a height of 19 meters, it is undoubtedly a behemoth in the civilian drone market. If there was only one prototype, Lu Lang could still claim he was just experimenting. However, wanting to legally and compliantly mass-produce them comes with a headache of various production permits and operational qualifications. The emergence of DJI has undoubtedly provided Lu Lang with another path. In fact, everything he has prepared is aimed at serving the filming of the live-action movie The Wandering Earth in the future. As long as the price is right, Lu Lang wouldn't mind selling the drone technology. Everyone settled in the lobby of the town's hotel. "How much can you offer?" Lu Lang asked directly as always. Wang Hao discreetly glanced at the security consultant beside him, and seeing no further instructions, he proceeded with the plan and said to Lu Lang, "We have two options. First, we can offer you a total compensation of 90 million yuan, which includes 40 million in cash and 50 million worth of internal company stock options. I must remind you that this portion of the stock options cannot be immediately converted into cash. You can choose to hold them long-term or sell them to a third party after 4 years. The second option is to pay you 30 million in cash upfront. And in addition, you will receive 20 of the net profit from the sales of the drone models developed based on the technology you provide." Wang Hao slowly revealed the company's internal offer to Lu Lang. This was entirely based on the commercial value of the technology demonstrated by the Predator drone under the current market conditions. However, this did not include the most impressive or alarming radar signal jamming feature of the Predator drone. If the deal goes through, the radar signal jamming technology acquired by DJI would be fully taken over by the Security Bureau. For Lu Lang, who was worried about his rent just 2 weeks ago, either option represented a significant sum, yet he still forced himself to remain calm and attempted to negotiate a higher price. "It seems your company's revenue has long surpassed the 10 billion mark. Isn't an offer of less than 100 million somewhat lacking in sincerity? Mr. Lu, you may have misunderstood. The vast majority of the company's revenue comes from small to medium-sized models. The market for super-large drones like the Predator is still being developed. Therefore, the funds available for technology licensing are quite limited. The two options we provided are already among the top offers in the industry," Wang Hao explained sincerely to Lu Lang. In fact, he was right. Moreover, as the industry leader, DJI could easily suppress competitors using various legally permissible business tactics. An individual developer like Lu Lang, who had technology but lacked capital support, would face countless difficulties trying to mass-produce the Predator drone and compete with DJI in the market. Capital seeks profit, and without intervention from the Security Bureau, they could easily attempt to acquire the technology at a lower cost. I personally suggest you choose the second option. Based on my years of experience in this industry, your technology will greatly expand the application directions of large drones. Choosing profit sharing will maximize returns. After some consideration, Lu Lang also tends to favor the second option. Although the total compensation for the first option is 90 million, not all of it is cash. The stock options included cannot be traded until 4 years later. In contrast, the profit-sharing option has a higher ceiling and offers greater returns. After reaching a verbal agreement, both parties signed a letter of intent. The technology licensing agreement will only take effect after being certified by an authoritative third party in the future. Mr. Lu, I need to remind you that once the exclusive licensing agreement is successfully reached, certain technologies on the Predator drone, such as the technology for shielding radar signal monitoring, cannot be applied to other commercial products. As for the prototype you previously gifted to others, to prevent technology leakage, it will be recalled in the future. As compensation, 2 new heavy-load models will be gifted to the other party. Lu Lang nodded in understanding and expressed satisfaction with DJI's considerate handling. After the main business discussions were completed, both parties were very pleased. Seeing the security consultant give him a signal, Wang Hao pretended to casually ask Lu Lang, "Mr. Lu, do you have some research on radar electromagnetic wave communication?" "Not really. I'm from the directing department of a film academy, so I have some knowledge of science fiction films." Lu Lang replied seriously. Hearing Lu Lang's earnest answer, Wang Hao almost choked on his tea. "Ahem, you are too modest. Our company has connections with the 404 Institute of the Academy of Sciences and can recommend you for further studies there. Academician Li Fujian is an authority in the relevant field at the 404 Institute, and you should have many common topics to discuss with him. May I ask if you have any interest in this?" As an authority in radar electromagnetic wave communication in the country, Academician Li Fujian's name is well known in academic circles. The security consultant nearby couldn't help but perk up, waiting for Lu Lang's response. If Lu Lang had some understanding of the film industry, The academic world was completely outside his knowledge. With his mind filled with movie production, Lu Lang hardly noticed the question. Does academician Li also study science fiction films? I must visit him when I have the chance. Chapter 21. Next steps. Wang Hao and his assistant were momentarily stunned. Just a few sentences had their brains racing. Almost overheating. Come on, can we have a normal conversation between humans? Wang Hao silently lamented, yet he still had to maintain a calm facade. Slightly turning to cast a pleading glance at the security consultant. The consultant subtly shook his head, and receiving the signal, Wang Hao finally felt relieved. Mr. Liu, I wish us a pleasant cooperation. Wang Hao raised his teacup in place of a toast and downed it in one go, then quickly left with his assistant. Only a driver remained to take Lu Lang back to the capital. After a series of events, Lu Lang finally began his journey home under the expectant gazes of everyone. As he watched the figure leave, Shirley couldn't help but sigh. Boss, this Lu Lang really did graduate from the directing department of a film academy. Is it possible he truly doesn't know? After hearing his subordinate's words, Shirley shook his head. Not knowing about certain things could be understandable, but someone like him, capable of creating devices that can shield military radar signal monitoring, couldn't possibly be unaware of academician Li Fujian. Shirley had already concluded that Lu Lang was politely declining the academy's invitation. As the head of the security bureau, Shirley understood that there are many top talents in the country who are deeply passionate about research, and many of them exhibit introverted or socially anxious tendencies. Moreover, with the large number of people in various research institutes, where there are people, there are factions. Lu Lang likely didn't want to get involved in such dynamics. He simply wanted to quietly pursue his own research projects, which is entirely possible. The reason for such a significant stir this time was probably mainly to raise research funding. Although Shirley was not a scientist, he knew very well that nearly all top research projects require considerable development funds. This was certainly not something Lu Lang could bear alone. The agreement Lu Lang reached with a prominent drone company for funding worth tens of millions was likely for his independent research plans. While tens of millions sounds like a lot to an ordinary individual, there is no upper limit on funding for cutting-edge technology research. Lu Lang's research on radar electromagnetic wave communication did not rely on government funding, and he willingly submitted the relevant technologies he had successfully developed. Compared to those who exploit academic research projects to deceive the government for subsidies, Lu Lang was truly a breath of fresh air in the scientific community. Shirley couldn't help but feel grateful that the country had someone like Lu Lang, a solitary warrior dedicated to research without seeking rewards. Upon hearing Shirley's speculation, many agents in the Security Bureau felt deeply moved and couldn't help but feel ashamed for their previous doubts about Lu Lang. Boss, should we continue monitoring him? Withdraw everyone. Do not engage in any actions that infringe on his privacy. Assign a team to ensure his safety from the periphery. Stay discreet. Don't let him notice. He likely doesn't want to interact with official forces. For many researchers involved in cutting-edge international projects, privacy and freedom are far more precious than money. Shirley was well aware of this and decided to grant Lu Lang as much privacy and freedom as possible. Shirley's orders were quickly relayed, and the agents sprang into action. Boss, the Southwestern Military District has sent a message that the sweep of the border area has concluded, and no foreign supporting forces were found. Shirley nodded, confirming that Lu Lang posed no problems, and naturally, there would be no foreign supporting forces involved. However, this time, the operation unexpectedly uncovered 2 drug trafficking gangs engaged in transactions, as well as smuggling groups connected to overseas fraud organizations, and some poachers involved in the illegal trade of protected animals. Under Level 1 alert, over 100,000 armed military and police personnel surged into the border areas. The criminals hiding in the remote mountains along the border could hardly imagine they would attract such significant attention. Upon hearing his subordinate's report, Shirley frowned. He instructed the Southwest Military Region that there were no targets of interest among them, and to handle them on site. Just as his subordinate was about to leave, Shirley called him back. Wait, have the military region set up a public trial court for these guys and deal with them severely. Boss, is it really necessary to go through all this trouble? Isn't it the same as directly executing them? You don't understand anything, do you? Do you know about governing the country by law? On the way back, Lu Lang was unaware of all that had transpired. The sound of armed helicopters occasionally whizzed by overhead, and he could see some returning military vehicles on the road, which piqued his curiosity. Is this a drill? He wondered aloud. I heard it's to capture criminals in the border area, the driver quickly explained. Opening his phone, Lu Lang soon saw the pinned news. Operation Blade completed successfully. Under the mobilization of the Southwest Military Region, criminal gangs involved in drug trafficking, human smuggling, and poaching have been apprehended. This operation has effectively struck against the audacity of domestic and foreign criminal forces and successfully maintained the security situation along the southwestern border. The trial of the criminals will be live-streamed online. Lu Lang raised his eyebrows as he read the news. Although he felt that these matters had little to do with him, he silently gave a thumbs up to the military and police in his heart. After returning to the abandoned factory in the suburbs of the capital where he rented, Lu Lang quickly signed a legally binding contract with DJI under their urging. Then, under the astonished gaze of DJI's technical director, he presented the technical materials related to the Predator drone one by one. The other party promptly transferred the technology licensing funds into Lu Lang's bank account. Looking at the long string of numbers in his bank balance, Lu Lang felt relieved to start planning his next steps. Although 30 million seemed like a lot, it was still far from enough to produce the live-action film The Wandering Earth that Lu Lang envisioned. In the future, DJI would continue to provide him with profit shares from products developed based on the Predator drone technology, but that was a matter for later. With over 30 million in hand, Lu Lang prepared to continue his previous plan to shoot the next CG animation, Moonfall Crisis. On one hand, he aimed to continue building his reputation so he could eventually attract actors for the live-action film The Wandering Earth. On the other hand, he needed to keep raising funds for the live-action film, despite his confidence in minimizing the major special effects costs. It was only natural to have as much funding as possible for a project he had long anticipated. Please don't rush, I'm working hard on it. Chapter 22. Getting a good price after returning to normal life. The first thing Lu Lang did was purchase a batch of new high-performance special effects rendering equipment. The computer that Lu Lang had spent all his savings on, worth 100,000, was already considered a top configuration among gamers. However, in the world of special effects rendering, there is no upper limit to equipment performance. Even though Lu Lang could accurately bring to life the images in his mind with the help of advanced film technology, he still relied on the rendering equipment to achieve this. The 100,000 yuan computer was far from meeting his needs. He immediately began ordering equipment online. He purchased more than 300 top-tier rendering graphics cards from a major brand, along with the necessary rendering equipment, power supplies, and cooling devices, spending nearly 5 million of his savings in total. If it weren't for the limited stock of top graphics cards due to market scarcity, he was even prepared to spend tens of millions on rendering equipment. Once the equipment arrived, was installed, and successfully tested, Lu Lang could finally begin the production of his second special effects CG animation video. Similar to his previous project, Space Elevator Battle, this new video would also be around 15 minutes long. It would not focus on specific human characters, but rather emphasize visually striking effects that easily capture the audience's attention. In fact, Lu Lang planned to use Space Elevator Battle and Moonfall Crisis as trailers for a future live-action film adaptation of The Wandering Earth. Without revealing the plot, he aimed to showcase the most shocking cinematic scenes in advance through special effects CG animation. This would attract viewers' attention while also demonstrating his capability to produce an unprecedented sci-fi blockbuster in the film history of his country. He intended to cast several big-name stars from the domestic film industry for the live-action adaptation of The Wandering Earth. Just the title of Best Sci-Fi Short Film might not be enough to convince them to join, especially since he was still a newly graduated director. Therefore, creating another film, Moonfall Crisis, to solidify his reputation as a sci-fi director and garner more attention and discourse within the industry was Lu Lang's true goal. With the powerful new equipment, the rendering speed of Lu Lang's video effects saw an unprecedented boost. Previously, in a dimly lit rental apartment, he had relied on instant noodles and energy drinks, working tirelessly for 3 days and nights, for dozens of hours to complete the rendering for Space Elevator Battle. Now, with the help of 5 million worth of large-scale rendering equipment, he completed the rendering tasks in less than 20 hours. This also accounted for the time spent on repeatedly rendering certain key scenes to refine the results. With the video completed, Lu Lang let out a long sigh of relief. Next, it was time to upload the video to the website. However, when Lu Lang opened the creator dashboard, preparing to upload the video, he suddenly hesitated. What he lacked now was not just the funds to shoot the film. More importantly, he was short on points to exchange for advanced filmmaking technology. His bank savings still had over 25 million, but since redeeming the Predator drone, he was left with only a little over 200,000 points. Points could only be earned through direct profits from his own film productions. The tens of millions he earned from selling the Predator drone technology could not be converted into corresponding points. This meant that to gain more points, he had to find a way to sell the video Moonfall Crisis at a good price. However, thinking about the revenue from his last video Space Elevator Battle, Lu Lang couldn't help but frown. If it weren't for the 70,000 Dragon Coins prize from the Starlight Award for Best Short Film, he didn't know when he could redeem the Predator drone, valued at 500,000 points. Aside from the prize money, the revenue from his last video on the platform was only a meager few tens of thousands. For a video that had been trending for a while, the revenue provided by the platform was truly too little. Although not all creators produced high-quality videos, the time and money costs to create a popular video were considerable. It was no wonder that those with a large fan base chose to take advertisements and promote products to sustain their income. The challenge Lu Lang faced now was that the duration of Moonfall Crisis was awkward. At only 15 minutes long, it could not be sold as a CG film. Being just a single episode, it couldn't be broadcast as a special effects animation either. Unless Lu Lang was willing to produce more sequels or fill it with a lot of plot scenes to extend the duration to at least 90 minutes for a CG film. But putting aside how much additional time cost he would incur, doing so would contradict Lu Lang's decision to treat Moonfall Crisis as a trailer for the film The Wandering Earth. "Hello, Mr. Lu. Is there something you need?" Lu Zitao said, puzzled upon receiving Lu Lang's call. I'd like to ask if there are any recent award selections?" Lu Lang inquired. Due to Lu Zitao's diligence, which helped Space Elevator Battle win the Starlight Award for Best Short Film, Lu Lang held him in high regard. Therefore, he contacted him to see if there were any recent awards available for selection. If he could win both an award and a prize, that would be even better. Recently, after the Starlight Award concluded, there haven't been any major awards, Lu Zitao replied. "By the way, are you asking because you have a new video out?" "Yes. It's called Moonfall Crisis. And like the previous Space Elevator Battle, it's about 15 minutes of special effects CG animation, but this time it leans more towards disaster film style." Lu Lang's explanation surprised Lu Zitao. "Then, Mr. Lu, are you still in the capital? I can represent the platform to have a face-to-face discussion with you. We are interested in supporting sci-fi newcomers like you." Lu Lang, as the winner of the Best Short Film at the Starlight Awards, created a special effects CG animation that aligns perfectly with the development direction of a certain platform. For this platform, he is undoubtedly a talent worth deepening cooperation with. With Lu Zitao's strong recommendation, the platform is willing to offer a treatment far exceeding that of other creators on the site for collaboration with Lu Lang. Early the next morning, Lu Zitao arrived at the abandoned factory in the suburbs of the capital, which Lu Lang had rented, accompanied by his assistant. After watching the entire film Moonfall Crisis, he couldn't contain his excitement. This was yet another impeccable science fiction disaster-themed CG animation in his eyes. The quality of its production was on par with, if not better than, Space Elevator Battle. $5 million. The platform was willing to pay $5 million for the rights to acquire this short film. Hearing the figure of $5 million made Lu Lang feel delighted. But when he heard the term rights, he finally calmed down. Chapter 23. Copyright is the bottom line copyright? So you mean you're prepared to spend $5 million to buy out Moonfall Crisis? Purchasing a video and buying out the copyright of a video are completely different concepts. Once the video is bought out, Lu Lang would only retain the right to be credited as the author regarding Moonfall Crisis. Legally, this short film would no longer belong to Lu Lang. This was unacceptable for him, as he planned to use Moonfall Crisis as a teaser for the movie The Wandering Earth. "Mr. Lu, I know the cost of producing this short film must be well over $5 million, and I understand your feelings. However, the platform is a publicly listed company, and every investment has to be accountable to shareholders. To be honest, although this well-produced CG animation short has high artistic value, it simply cannot recover its costs." Lu Zitao spoke sincerely, opening up to Lu Lang. As a platform that started with ACG content, they were well aware that in the current market environment, the path for CG special effects animation is either to produce a long series of dozens of episodes or to create a full-length animated film of comparable duration to a movie. Anything else is a dead end, and it is impossible to recover costs. Projects that cannot turn a profit, no matter how high their artistic value, look quite glaring in the company's financial reports. Although the platform has a good reputation, the pressure for revenue has always been significant. If it weren't for Lu Zitao's strong recommendation as an executive, Lu Lang might not even receive a $5 million offer. "I'm sorry, but there's no room for negotiation on the copyright issue." Lu Lang shook his head. $5 million was indeed tempting. But a large portion of the visuals in Moonfall Crisis would be applied in the future live-action film The Wandering Earth. He could never take the risk of handing over the copyright. If someone were to claim copyright over Moonfall Crisis in the future and accuse The Wandering Earth of infringement, it would be a huge joke. Lu Zitao looked at Lu Lang, who was firm in his stance, knowing that copyright was the other party's bottom line. He glanced back at the multi-million rendering room set up by Lu Lang for the production of Moonfall Crisis and felt a wave of emotion. Like Lu Lang, who makes money but does not indulge in enjoyment, living in a low-rent suburban area of the capital, even residing in a deserted factory, spending millions to build his own rendering room. If it were someone else, they would have already bought villas and sports cars, partying with beautiful women every night. Lu Lang pours his money and energy into his work, aiming to create better special effects and CG works, pioneering the barren landscape of domestic sci-fi films. This craftsmanship spirit makes Lu Zitao, who already admired Lu Lang, even more respectful of him. Grinding his teeth, Lu Zitao seemed to have made a decision, and then said to Lu Lang, "Give me one more chance. I will discuss with the company's board to strive for a satisfactory response for you." Lu Lang understood that the other party was also an employee with limited influence within the company. even if the conditions offered were not satisfactory to him. It was not Lu Zitao's fault. Moreover, after the incident with the Starlight Award, the two had already become friends in private. After bidding farewell to Lu Zitao, the discussions with the company's executives would take a few days. During the waiting period, Lu Lang did not idle. He logged into the back end of the video platform to check. The video release was on hold, and there was nothing noteworthy in the revenue section. After receiving the remuneration for the technical authorization of the Predator drone, Lu Lang was no longer interested in the tens of thousands from video earnings. Below the recent updates, fans urging for new videos had already filled the comment section with over 5,000 replies. There were also quite a number of people following the updates on the prototype of the Predator drone. Boss, it's been almost a week. Hasn't the prototype been successfully tested yet? Hurry up and launch the crowdfunding. I'm dying to get my hands on it. I'll buy it without a second thought under 100,000. Rich guy above, bet me 50 to show your strength. Is the model too large? Can't pass the production safety review? I suggest making more models. Smaller ones with lower performance would be fine, as long as the price is right. There will definitely be buyers. Sigh, I think it's mostly hopeless. Not to be pessimistic, but for large-scale mass-produced drone equipment, it really depends on large enterprises like DJI. Individuals just can't manage it. Many people were amazed by the performance of the Predator drone, but were not optimistic about its ability to be sold on the market. The warm-hearted replies and friendly suggestions from numerous fans and netizens in the comment section made Lu Lang feel touched. They genuinely hoped to see Lu Lang's Predator drone available in the market. After some thought, Lu Lang typed on the keyboard and posted a new update. After some negotiations, I have reached an agreement with DJI to jointly develop large drone equipment based on the Predator drone technology. In the future, DJI will be responsible for production and sales. I hope everyone can support us. At the end of the update, Lu Lang also attached the relevant website he had just received. Once this update was published, it immediately caused a huge stir on the platform. Many people clicked on the link at the end of the update and discovered that the pre-sale page for DJI's new model had indeed appeared. Although there are no detailed images from actual machine tests, the appearance and size of the new model clearly indicate that it is a brother model that shares lineage with a certain UAV. Fans online are excited about the collaboration, expressing surprise that such a prominent figure could partner with a leading company in the UAV field. With the strength of this company, which holds a dominant position not only domestically but also globally, the collaboration will undoubtedly help the impressive UAV reach potential buyers more quickly. For the individual in question, this represents a win-win situation. After obtaining the technology license, he no longer needs to worry about the complexities of production permits, raw materials, or assembly issues. Each device sold that utilizes this UAV technology will provide him with a share of the profits, which is a very generous arrangement for him. Thus, he is also willing to assist in promoting the company. After a 2-day wait, a representative returned with an updated offer regarding a certain project. The company has agreed to relinquish the copyright and is willing to increase the original acquisition price significantly. However, upon hearing the new offer, he felt puzzled rather than excited. As mentioned, the company operates in a harsh capital market with significant revenue pressures, making such a substantial concession unlikely in such a short time frame. The representative continued, albeit awkwardly, stating that they have a request to sign a long-term contract. This contract would involve producing 2 CG animated series with no less than 60 episodes in total following the specified project. The script and investment would be designated by the company, with strict adherence to budget and delivery deadlines. The high-quality production of previous projects has caught the attention of the company's executives and given his status as a recognized creator in short films. He is undoubtedly among the top in the domestic industry for CG animation. The executives' willingness to negotiate on the previous project price reflects their interest in securing a cost-effective director and production team for the upcoming animated series. As the bulk of the company's revenue still relies heavily on long-form animated series, which can significantly enhance their financial performance. This is the true attitude of capital companies towards individual production teams, no matter how famous one is or how they have won internationally recognized awards. If their work cannot demonstrate commercial value in the market, they are merely seen as cheap labor by investors. The script and funding are designated by the other party, and they even set the budget and delivery deadlines. Once an agreement is made, one is completely trapped in a passive situation. More critically, they are also busy preparing their own project, leaving no extra time to help others produce 2 feature-length animations. Is this the sincerity of your company? There is a bit of disappointment. After all, there are feelings for the platform, as their first work gained popularity there. Winning the award is also closely related to the responsible person. However, the offer from the platform is filled with calculations. According to market prices, the production cost for 2 short sci-fi films would not be less than 10 million each. Even so, the offer is only 8 million, and they intend to tie him down with a long-term contract to produce 2 feature-length animations for the company. All these actions reveal a shrewd, petty attitude typical of businessmen. They are betting on the fact that he has skills but lacks channels to monetize his sci-fi shorts. Thus, they keep testing his psychological price, trying to get him to work for the platform at the lowest possible cost. If I agree, I might end up working for free for 1 or 2 years. If the animated series becomes a hit, I would only receive a fixed salary. If it fails, I would be the one to take the blame. Given the negotiation attitude and sincerity of the platform, he does not hesitate to speculate with the worst intentions. Such behavior is quite likely. Sigh. The responsible person is at a loss for how to respond. The capital market is ruthless and profit-driven, whether it's special effects or sci-fi films. The high barriers and costs have deterred the film industry locally. Over time, sci-fi films have nearly disappeared from the domestic market. Each year, foreign special effects blockbusters bombard the local market with no competition. If it weren't for the protection month for domestic films, the local film industry would have long been in ruins. However, relying solely on those self-entertaining romance and comedy films cannot break into the international market. Only sci-fi films can truly represent a country's film industrial strength. The globally sweeping films that rake in box office profits, such as Titanic, Avatar, and The Avengers, are almost all sci-fi blockbusters. The responsible person, filled with passion, invested in this industry, hoping to change the situation through hard work. Yet, reality feels like a constant downpour of cold water on his head. The company prefers to spend a large sum to introduce foreign animated films and TV shows rather than taking the risk of investing in local creators. After his earnest recommendations, offering Liu Lang an $8 million deal is already the highest price a local creator can get on the platform. To be honest, I find it quite sad that in a country with 1 billion people, there isn't a market that can accommodate sci-fi films. Liu Zitao seems to no longer care about persuading Liu Lang on behalf of the company. He casually chats with Liu Lang instead. After spending years at the platform, he has seen too many fans going crazy for traffic-driven celebrities. In an entertainment industry that is almost completely dominated by various stars, he cannot see hope for domestic sci-fi films. Maybe the market has always been there. It's just that there aren't any good works. Having witnessed the groundbreaking sci-fi film The Wandering Earth, Liu Lang is much more optimistic than Liu Zitao. He hopes to see that day again. By the way, this might be our last meeting. I'm planning to resign. Resign? Liu Lang was taken aback. He didn't expect Liu Zitao, who could be considered a senior manager at the platform, would choose to leave. The platform is like this now. If I stay any longer, I fear I might become one of those people I used to dislike. While I'm still young, I want to try something new. Although Liu Zitao didn't specify what he wanted to try, Liu Lang could guess it was likely related to domestic sci-fi entertainment. When Liu Zitao accepted the Starlight Award on Liu Lang's behalf, his passion for sci-fi didn't seem like an act. That contract definitely can't be signed. It's likely a sellout agreement. Good talent will always shine, and I believe someone will recognize it. After giving his advice, Liu Zitao slowly left. Liu Lang is not willing to undervalue his work. After pausing video releases, he focuses on writing a short story for The Wandering Earth. He plans to present the story to the audience in written form before producing a live-action film. Just as Liu Lang is busy typing, an unexpected call comes through on his phone. Mr. Liu, I'm the entertainment strategy director at a major tech company. Would you be interested in a chat? ByteDance. Liu Lang's heart skipped a beat. As the second largest tech giant in the country after 2 well-known firms, it owns many popular internet products like Douyin and Tushio. As a rising star, it has shown signs of surpassing the former giants in recent years. Liu Lang has certainly heard of its reputation, but didn't know how they managed to contact him. After some inquiries, he learned that Liu Zitao had made the introduction. After returning to the platform, facing accountability from the board, Liu Zitao, who already intended to resign, simply quit. He then joined ByteDance, which is eager to expand in the entertainment sector. With a familiar introduction, Liu Lang is naturally willing to meet, especially since his sci-fi short film Moonfall Crisis is in urgent need of monetization. ByteDance, also headquartered in the capital, didn't keep Liu Lang waiting long. That afternoon, the entertainment strategy director arrived at the dilapidated factory in the suburbs where Liu Lang was located. Dong Yinling, the entertainment strategy director of ByteDance, a well-groomed middle-aged woman with a neat short haircut and dressed in a smart white uniform, introduced herself to Liu Lang. After some small talk, they quickly got to the main topic. Liu Lang showcased his latest work, the video of Moonfall Crisis. He originally thought that even if the other party wasn't as shocked as Liu Zitao was by the high-level special effects videos he produced, they should at least show some signs of surprise. However, this ByteDance entertainment strategy director watched the entire video with a blank expression, showing no emotional reaction at all. This made Liu Lang frown. Could it be that she really doesn't understand special effects and CG animation? Or is she pretending to be uninterested to negotiate a lower price? Mr. Liu, to be honest, I'm personally not very interested in sci-fi works. Hearing her words, Liu Lang couldn't help but smirk inwardly. Here it comes, the familiar feeling, another capitalist trying to poo the worker. first belittling the work and then seizing the opportunity to negotiate a lower price. However, according to our data team's analysis, your work has a high appeal to young men aged 15 to 35. On Douyin, videos related to your work have shown that 85% of users in this age group are willing to watch for over 10 seconds. Furthermore, after you won the Starlight Award, related topics and news on Douyin surged to over 1 million posts, capturing the attention of older male and female users as well. After a series of data analyses, Dong Yinling continued, I never believe in intuition, fate, or astrology. I only believe in data. Only data cannot lie. Compared to this short film, what attracts me more is you personally. After saying this, Dong Yinling's emotionless gaze fixed intently on Lu Lang. Lu Lang felt a chill run down his spine. Lady, what are you trying to say with all this? You're not thinking of taking me under your wing, are you? To be honest, ever since Lu Lang traveled here and learned that his predecessor died from being administered animal breeding drugs by a group of middle-aged women, he started developing a psychological shadow regarding this demographic. While Lu Lang was feeling uneasy, Dong Yinling was also contemplating ByteDance's entertainment strategy. As a major internet player capable of competing with the likes of other giants, ByteDance's entertainment strategy naturally needs to elevate to a strategic level, rather than being confined to a single film or TV series. The other companies had already begun their entertainment strategies in this region. The other company has substantial dominance in music through platforms like QQ, Kuwo, and Kugu. In videos, they have a strong focus on ACG content with platforms like Bilibili, while iQIYI and Youku were acquired by another company. In terms of film and television intellectual property, the other company has substantial resources with platforms like Yuanwen and Xinjiang. While the latter has made large-scale investments in the film industry, owning several related film investment groups and a series of other assets. Both parties have established intertwined positions in the entertainment industry, with various capital barriers stacked together to form a protective moat, making it difficult for emerging players to find a foothold. As the director of entertainment strategy at ByteDance, Dong Yinling's primary task is to carve out a path amidst the encirclement by major competitors. In this situation, the simplest and most effective method is to invest heavily. In response to competitors, ByteDance has recruited Lu Zitao, a senior executive from a prominent video platform, to establish a free reading service that includes novels, animations, and a series of film adaptations, directly countering the paid reading systems of its rivals. In the realm of film and television, facing the deeper barriers and protective moats of its competitors, Dong Yinling must find alternative paths. At this moment, under Lu Zitao's strong recommendation, the name Lu Lang came into Dong Yinling's view. A newly graduated rising director with a professional background, he has not been drawn into the factions of the industry. Having won an international science fiction award, his talent undoubtedly stands out among the younger generation of directors. Most importantly, Lu Lang's focus on science fiction themes means there are no direct competitors in the domestic film industry, which is crucial for Dong Yinling. She aims not only to break through the blockade imposed by her competitors in the film industry, but also to go further and completely defeat them. Relying solely on comedy or romance films would be a slim hope, as her competitors have been deeply entrenched in those fields for years. Science fiction films represent her hope for breakthrough, and Lu Lang, having won an international award, boosts her confidence even further. As for the high costs associated with science fiction films, Dong Yinling has never been concerned. Since ByteDance announced its expansion into the entertainment market, it has invested hundreds of billions annually. The resources at Dong Yinling's disposal far exceed what any single platform could imagine. When Lu Lang heard the offer of $50 million for the short film, retaining the copyright, he almost thought he was hearing things. The quote was 6 times higher than what he received from the other platform, leaving him stunned. This video short will enjoy 48 hours of exclusive playback rights on ByteDance platforms, after which it can be allowed to air on other platforms. Additionally, he would need to join a popular short video platform, granting them priority purchasing rights for future video shorts under the same pricing conditions. When promoting new works, they would have the priority to release on ByteDance platforms. Furthermore, if his works have funding gaps, under the same conditions, they would have the right to invest first. A series of subsequent conditions flowed from Dong Yinling's mouth, but these terms seemed almost too good to be true. After pondering for a moment, Lu Lang reflected on it. Are you asking me to take sides? He thought. He had heard of the competition among the 3 major players in the entertainment sector, but he didn't expect to be connected so quickly. I prefer to call it paying a high price for quality, Dong Yinling replied with a smile. The content explained in these 2 chapters is a bit lengthy, but the plot will accelerate later. Chapter 26. A bold promotion. Lu Lang did not expect that he, as a rookie director who had not yet officially filmed any TV series or movies, would be chosen and courted by the other party. However, upon reflection, it seems reasonable. The film and television industry in the country is neither too big nor too small. The 2 major factions, represented by major companies, had long established their presence in the industry, and most of the well-known directors and producers within the country had some connection with them. Except for a few top-tier directors and producers who managed to maintain independence and navigate between the two factions, many other well-known directors and production teams had already been divided and courted by these companies. As a newcomer, Byte would inevitably face retaliation from the two major factions if they wanted to recruit talent, and they would have to pay a significant price. Although Liu Lang lacked extensive experience in film and television production, he had a formal background and had won the Best Sci-Fi Short Film at the Starlight Awards, making him appear quite promising. As a director leaning towards the sci-fi genre, he could create a competitive edge for Byte against the other two factions. To thrive in the film and television industry within the country, one inevitably has to engage with these three major factions. Before Liu Lang grew strong enough to negotiate with them, choosing to join one of the factions would be a better option for him. The talent pool within the two factions was vast, and they might not even value Liu Lang as a rookie director. Additionally, as a sci-fi director, he might not fit in well with the numerous comedy and romance directors within those factions. The attention and treatment he received would surely not compare to what he would get at Byte. While one faction excelled in TV dramas, the other was strong in films. Byte's advantage lay in its unparalleled internet marketing capabilities. Often, the choice of platform is more important than hard work. Confidently backed by the internet giant, Dong Yinling, Liu Lang could not help but agree with her perspective. After a brief contemplation, they quickly reached an agreement. The terms of the agreement did not contain any harsh clauses like those seen in other platforms, as Dong Yinling looked down on such petty tactics. In her eyes, the terms offered by Byte were far beyond what any small workshop could compete with. Next, Liu Lang posted his final update on another platform, announcing that from now on, updates for videos and works would be prioritized on the Douyin platform. He included a photo of a human in a spacesuit sitting on the moon, gazing at Earth, with a vast starry sky in the background, serving as a promotional teaser for Lunar Crisis. Once the update was posted, it quickly attracted the attention of many fans. This promotional photo is really impactful. Lunar Crisis? Is the Master's new work a disaster theme? Did you notice the square box behind the astronaut is flashing red light? Combined with the title Lunar Crisis. Oh my gosh, could it be that humanity blew up the moon? Why blow up the moon? What did the moon do wrong? I speak for the moon. Please give us an explanation, uploader. Manual Doghead. Does a sci-fi short film also need a trailer? You really are something. Hurry up and release the main film. I can't wait. Many fans treat the teaser images released by Liu Lang as a puzzle game, speculating on the content that will appear in the upcoming sci-fi short film. Others have noticed another less conspicuous statement. Wait, prioritizing the release on a certain platform? Is the big shot giving up on another platform? Is the big shot switching to another platform and falling out with the previous one? I just opened the app, and I actually got a cover push from a big name. Oh no, has it been monitoring me all along? Wow, really, I got pushed too. Did you all receive it? Are you that influential? The last time I saw a cover ad was when a certain celebrity joined that platform. Looking at the comments under the dynamic post, Liu Lang felt somewhat confused. So he opened the app on his phone. As soon as he entered, he found that the splash screen ad featured himself. Countdown. 2 days. Winner of the World Sci-Fi Star Award, shining star of sci-fi from the Dragon Country, Liu Lang, will soon join. Click to follow for a chance to win limited edition signed merchandise and a commemorative model of the drone produced by a well-known company. For a full 5 seconds, a photo of Liu Lang with a shy smile appeared on the phone screen as a splash screen ad. Seeing the phrase shining star of sci-fi from the Dragon Country, Liu Lang couldn't help but feel a bit shy. Out of curiosity, he contacted the staff from the entertainment division of the company he was coordinating with and learned that the splash screen ad would be pushed to male users aged 15 to 35 in the Dragon Country. Due to Liu Lang's outstanding looks, according to back-end data analysis, some female users aged 16 to 55 would also receive this splash screen ad. The only difference was that the gifts these female users might receive for clicking to follow would not be the commemorative drone model, but rather beauty devices, cosmetics, and other prizes. There are 5,000 scaled-down commemorative drone models and 25,000 various beauty devices and cosmetics. Just the cost of these prizes exceeds 10 million. Not to mention the advertising resources allocated for promoting Liu Lang in the past few days. It's worth noting that the app has monthly active users exceeding half the national population, and the exposure brought by its splash screen ad is enough to make celebrities and influencers envious. Is this the small promotion in the agreement? Liu Lang couldn't help but marvel at the generosity of the entertainment division, just for warming up his entry into the platform. Such a significant amount of resources is being spent. It seems they value him quite a lot. Such a large-scale promotional activity on that platform has naturally caught the attention of another platform. They have realized that they have been outmaneuvered by the entertainment division. Only after losing do they understand the value. And the willingness of the entertainment division to invest heavily in promotion proves that Lu Lang's worth is definitely beyond what they had previously estimated. After the high-level emergency meeting, the newly appointed head of the National Innovation Zone was immediately dispatched in an attempt to win back Mr. Lu. Mr. Lu, we have carefully discussed and decided to raise the video acquisition offer to 10 million, without any copyright requirements. For future collaborations on long animated series, only one is needed. There may have been some unnecessary misunderstandings between the company and you due to communication issues with Lu Zitao. The significant concession that Bilibili believed it had made still seemed laughably stingy compared to the conditions offered by a certain entertainment company. The last shred of goodwill that Lu Lang had towards Bilibili dissipated as they shifted the blame onto Lu Zitao. Not interested, I'm done talking. People from a certain entertainment company have contacted me. Chapter 27. Oh no, do I have NC fans now? Lu Lang's excuse for hanging up the phone was not randomly chosen. He actually received a text message notification from the entertainment company. The sci-fi essay he participated in was selected. The activities on a certain short video platform were still warming up, but before that, Lu Lang resolved another matter, the release of the novel The Wandering Earth. As a medium short story, The Wandering Earth comprises just over 24,000 words. Within a few days, Lu Lang completed the writing. On the other hand, after leaving Bilibili, Lu Zitao joined the entertainment company, overseeing the newly established free reading section. His task was to emulate platforms like a certain popular online literature site and build a treasure trove of film and television IP adaptations based on free novels. Upon taking charge of the free reading section, Lu Zitao immediately coordinated resources to hold a sci-fi novel competition. As the cherished goal in Lu Zitao's heart, sci-fi novels were naturally the direction he vigorously developed. With the support of resources from the entertainment company, Lu Zitao generously set substantial rewards for this sci-fi competition. The first place could unconditionally receive a prize of 1 million. The second to fifth places would receive prizes of 500,000, 400,000, 300,000, and 200,000 respectively. The top 10 would also have opportunities for animation and film adaptations. The remaining 100 participants would receive varying amounts of prizes and support resources. High-quality and suitable works would be hired by the entertainment company for professional literary translation to be introduced to overseas markets. The award evaluation would invite authoritative editors from domestic and international sci-fi magazines, relevant researchers from the National Academy of Sciences, and numerous seasoned readers from domestic sci-fi publications to ensure absolute fairness and justice. Lu Lang chose to submit the novel The Wandering Earth to this sci-fi competition instead of traditional publishing houses, not for the prize money. After all, 1 million was just pocket change for Lu Lang, who had tens of millions still in his bank account. The main reason was to support Lu Zitao. If it weren't for Lu Zitao's help back then, Lu Lang would never have won the Starlight Award for Best Short Film. Now that Lu Zitao had just joined the entertainment company and urgently needed to make a remarkable achievement to prove himself, Lu Lang reciprocated by supporting him through his work. However, to avoid receiving special treatment, Lu Lang did not use his real name as a pen name. He trusted in the strength of The Wandering Earth. The substantial prize money has attracted a large number of online writers. Such generous treatment can be said to be unprecedented in the realm of novels in this country. However, for reviewers like Lu Zitao, this might not be a good thing. What is this nonsense? Interspecies love? A story about a protagonist with intellectual disabilities falling in love with an alien. Lu Zitao struggled to suppress his urge to curse, took a deep breath, and tossed the manuscript aside. Many authors drawn by the hefty prize money didn't even understand the definition of science fiction. To meet the sci-fi elements required in the submission guidelines, many authors simply swapped the characters in their previous romance, suspense, martial arts, or fantasy stories for aliens or robots and submitted them for the competition. Who could imagine the despair of a loyal sci-fi fan encountering works titled My Lover, Mr. Alien Tentacle, The Corpse in the Mountain, the killer is actually a robot. Zhang Wuji battles the Iron Tower robot, or the fiery battle against Martians? Lu Zitao smoked half a pack of cigarettes before he calmed down. Editor-in-Chief, there's a decent piece here, with a very novel theme. Upon hearing novel theme, Lu Zitao hesitated for a moment, took a deep drag of his cigarette, and then reached for the manuscript. The Wandering Earth? A solar crisis, with humanity building 10,000 planetary engines to escape the solar system along with Earth? Sounds a bit interesting. As he read the synopsis of The Wandering Earth, Lu Zitao's furrowed brow finally relaxed. This was what he wanted, an imaginative sci-fi novel that was refreshing and eye-catching. Looking up to see the author's pseudonym, he found it was written as Little Broken Ball. After resolving the issue of manuscript submissions, it wasn't long before the day arrived for Lu Lang to join a popular video platform. After uploading a pre-recorded greeting video to his account, Lu Lang discovered that he had garnered over 30 million followers. As his video from another platform was shared, there were suddenly more than 10,000 comments. The number of likes surged explosively, reaching over 1 million in just 10 minutes. After 2 days of build-up, Lu Lang successfully topped the trending charts, becoming the most popular figure among hundreds of millions of active users on the platform that day. With Lu Lang's rise to fame, his identity as the winner of the Best Short Film at the Starlight Awards was once again brought to light. A prior official interview by a well-known publication also provided another perspective, revealing Lu Lang as a positive energy college graduate who relentlessly pursued his dreams and worked hard. Various positive reports and public opinions made Lu Lang feel as though an invisible hand was lifting him to the skies. He could finally understand the words of Dong Yinling. The greatest advantage of a certain entertainment company was its unparalleled internet marketing capability. While some praised him, others criticized. What is this? In this day and age, a 10-minute animated short can be called a director? The light of sci-fi from this country? Just made a short video. Do you deserve it? Are there really directors from this country that look this handsome? Severe doubts have arisen about the hidden secret transactions behind his sudden rise to fame. Lu Lang is so handsome, my heart's love. I declare that I will be a die-hard fan of Lu Lang from now on. With such good looks and hard work, Lu Lang's popularity is destined. No matter how jealous the haters are, they can't change the facts. In response to these skeptical comments, Lu Lang didn't take them to heart. A director indeed needs to let their work speak for itself. Lu Lang is following his own plan, taking necessary steps for the large-scale industrial production of a science fiction film. Once the live-action movie The Wandering Earth is released, all these doubts will dissipate, so he isn't too concerned. However, what else with the strange fan comments mixed in with the skepticism? Oh no, I hope I won't start attracting crazy fans. Just as Lu Lang was lost in thought, Byte Entertainment seized the opportunity of Lu Lang's high popularity online to launch a sci-fi short film titled Lunar Fall Crisis, which they had just acquired across their platforms. Douyin, Tushio, Shigua Video, and other platforms simultaneously promoted and aired it. With English subtitles added, it was also broadcast on TikTok, reaching hundreds of millions globally with promotional pushes for this science fiction short from the Dragon Country. Nearly 100 million viewers watched Lu Lang's meticulously crafted Lunar Fall Crisis as soon as it was released. Chapter 28, Lunar Fall Crisis Warning. The Earth-Moon distance is expected to reach the Roche limit in 221 hours. At the beginning of the video, a monotonous male voice sounded an alarm in the hall. Numerous individuals wearing glasses and standardized uniforms, resembling research personnel, appeared in a hall filled with numerous monitors displaying various complex data patterns. They looked astonished at the emergency broadcast on the big screen, which was demonstrating an animated sequence of how the moon would soon fall toward Earth in 221 hours. What is the Roche limit? When a planet gets too close to its satellite, tidal forces can cause the fluid body to disintegrate. This means that if the moon gets too close to Earth, it will be attracted by Earth's gravity and crash into it. Is this really an animated film? The characters in the video look so realistic. Once Lunar Fall Crisis was launched on Byte's major platforms, a flood of viewer interactions began to appear in the comments. Besides the meaningless check-in replies, many interested viewers started asking about the various technical terms, equipment, and phenomena shown in the video. The scene shifted to the moon, where 3 planetary engines were evenly distributed, and one had already self-destructed due to overload. A massive explosion sent countless lunar soil and rocks into space. Before long, the other 2 planetary engines also entered an overload state. The red flames originally ejected from the engine ports gradually turned into a higher temperature blue state due to overload. Ultimately, the remaining 2 planetary engines erupted with a thunderous explosion, creating a terrifying shockwave on the lunar surface. A large number of shattered rocks were hurled into outer space by the shockwave. What a spectacle! It looks so realistic, just like those sci-fi films from abroad. Looks fake. Why is there no sound from the explosion? Hey, what is your education level? Didn't he graduate from middle school? The moon is in a vacuum, so there is no sound at all. What are those 3 structures built on the moon? They seem to have a rugged industrial aesthetic design. Is it a lunar mining base? Sci-fi films often follow this pattern. Probably because there is some rare energy on the moon, and humanity's reckless mining leads to environmental degradation. Well, isn't this just a direct explosion? As Lu Lang's second sci-fi short film, it maintains the same style as the first one, the space elevator battle. The camera rarely spends time explaining the visuals, forcing the viewers to guess randomly. As the moon gets closer to Earth, the meteorites generated by the explosion of the lunar planetary engines continuously fall towards Earth. After intense friction with the atmosphere, these meteorites transform into fireballs in the sky, trailing thick smoke as they plummet to the ground. Countless meteorites appearing simultaneously in the sky look as if the moon is launching an attack on humanity. The sky filled with flaming meteorites and thick smoke creates an apocalyptic scene. Wow, what is that building on the ground? An artificial mountain? It's so huge. I think I saw the Eiffel Tower. Why is it so small? No, wait. It's the building next to it, that's too big. It looks a lot like the building that exploded on the moon. Is it a mine or something? With such a large exhaust port. It can't be an engine, right? In the visuals, an enormous artificial structure, unseen by the audience before, appears on the Earth's surface. The 330-meter-high Eiffel Tower looks like a toy in front of it. Countless meteorites are continuously falling from the sky. The fiery assault prompts the military facilities responsible for defense around the planetary engines to begin self-defense counterattacks. Close-in defense systems and high-speed surface-to-air missiles rapidly target the meteorites, threatening the planetary engines. The close-in guns buzz as a dense rain of bullets sweeps into the sky, like pouring rain, with hundreds and thousands of high-speed missiles exploding and meeting the incoming meteorites in a spectacular display. However, even with this, some falling meteorites manage to breach the defensive firepower and crash heavily onto the planetary engines. The ground is filled with fires ignited by the meteorite impacts. Countless meteorites continue to fall from the sky. These close-in guns are linked to the earlier space elevator battle. Wow, it's intense. The visual effects are on par with top disaster films from abroad. This is impressive. The budget is clearly burning. The special effects for these 10 minutes would probably cost as much as a house in the capital. Regarding the visuals and the quality of the effects, even the most critical viewers were captivated. In just a minute or two, the meteorite falling effects led viewers to mistakenly believe they were watching a top-tier foreign sci-fi disaster film. Besides the meteorite, as the distance between the Earth and the Moon decreases, the gravitational influence of the Moon causes towering waves, reaching hundreds of meters high, to rise on the ocean surface. The video shows coastal cities being hit by these gigantic waves. The once bustling city streets, filled with traffic, are swept away by waves taller than 30 stories, engulfing the city in an instant. Countless citizens struggle in the water, only to be mercilessly swallowed by the next wave shortly after. It feels like the disaster movie The Day After Tomorrow. I really love these films about nature destroying humanity. Good news. Humans don't have to rush to put out fires anymore. Bad news. There's too much water. This is outrageous. If the moon really crashed into the Earth, humanity would be powerless. In the video, after the moon wreaks havoc on Earth, human spacecraft head towards the moon. Square metallic boxes flashing danger signals are deployed onto the lunar surface. The black and yellow radiation warning signs on these boxes are particularly eye-catching. Wow! Are they going to use nuclear bombs to explode the moon? I'm a viewer from the northern mainland, and this video is just ridiculous. The creator clearly lacks scientific knowledge. The moon's mass is 1/81 of the Earth's, and even all the nuclear weapons in the world combined could never destroy the moon. Didn't he, the person above, see the subtitles explaining that they plan to arrange the nuclear weapons using phased array methods to trigger lunar fusion? It's relying on the moon's own power to ignite itself. The nuclear bombs only serve as a fuse. Just as the video comments were debating the feasibility of exploding the moon, a series of explosions began in the footage. Over 3,000 of humanity's most destructive weapons burst on the moon like giant fireworks, emitting blinding light. Chapter 29. Gone, really gone. A 15-minute video clip is just right for an internet platform. It can convey more information than a short video while displaying all the content before viewers become bored. A good video should linger in people's minds, inspiring a desire to share and discuss with others. Undoubtedly, Moonfall Crisis is such a sci-fi short film. Why send astronauts to the moon to manually detonate nuclear bombs? Can't they be controlled remotely? Remote control of nuclear bombs requires a password, and those passwords are the highest secrets of all nuclear-armed nations, making them complex and cumbersome. It's not as simple as entering a phone unlock code. Moreover, with over 700 nuclear bombs from different countries and eras, it's definitely not something that can be sorted out in a short time. Sending personnel for manual operations is indeed the fastest detonation method in a critical situation. Can all of humanity's more than 700 nuclear warheads really explode the moon successfully, as shown in the video? People are slacking off at the Academy of Sciences. This is related to my field, so I can clarify for everyone. If you have done experiments using heavy magnetic electrical methods and know a bit about seismic waves, you can easily determine that the video suggests detonating a nuclear bomb to focus seismic waves, which then penetrate the moon's interior. The principle is quite simple and not very complex. The video creator has a vivid imagination, and this can be considered one of the best sci-fi films I have seen in recent years. After the video played, numerous students, professors, and researchers from the fields of science and engineering emerged on internet platforms. They earnestly educated viewers about various scientific phenomena presented in the video and their feasibility. Although the operation of exploding the moon depicted in the short film is overly idealized, there is still a possibility of realization from a scientific perspective, and the logic can hold. Wow, how did this video attract so many academic big shots? With my undergraduate degree, I feel like an ant and completely unable to understand. My associate degree is making my scalp itch. Oh no, I need to get smarter. As a high school student, I am in awe of these experts. After the college entrance examination, I must choose a science and engineering school. The moon crash crisis has sparked extensive discussions on various internet platforms in the country. This is unprecedented in the realm of the internet here. Under the heated discussions online, it has generated terrifying traffic and popularity, with keywords like exploding the moon, Roche limit, and moon crash crisis dominating trending searches across major platforms. As the platform with exclusive 48-hour broadcasting rights, ByteDance has become the biggest winner in this wave of popularity. Aside from Lu Lang, listening to her subordinates' reports, Dong Yinling, who usually keeps her emotions in check, couldn't help but smile slightly. The event planning she decided on has achieved tremendous success, with all key metrics rising significantly, making the $50 million investment well worth it. As the driving force behind the moon crash crisis, ByteDance Entertainment has certainly captured the spotlight in the industry. However, Dong Yinling is also well aware that all of this is thanks to Lu Lang. One must be strong themselves. If the production of the moon crash crisis video had not been excellent, no amount of resources invested by ByteDance Entertainment would have guaranteed any returns. After this project, Dong Yinling's confidence in Lu Lang's abilities has grown even stronger. The director of the international department is inquiring if there will be follow-up content for this short film. Dong Yinling was contemplating ByteDance Entertainment's next steps when her assistant suddenly rushed in to report an unexpected matter. International department? Are you referring to TikTok? If we talk about which platform under ByteDance has a greater global influence, it must be the international version of Douyin, TikTok. Its monthly active user base has reached a staggering scale of over 1 billion, and what's even more alarming is that this number does not include domestic users. TikTok has now completely outperformed other social platforms, becoming the most popular one abroad. Additionally, with the recent promotional campaign regarding the Moonfall crisis, the TikTok department also participated in the promotion, which is why Dong Yinling thought of them right away. Yes, director. They mentioned that the promotion in certain regions was quite successful and are preparing for a large-scale promotion in Western regions. As part of the Byte family, the international department naturally needs to contribute to the development of Byte's entertainment sector. However, it has always been challenging for the entertainment industry here to have a globally influential impact. In terms of literature and novels, aside from rural literature favored by serious awards, there is hardly any popular literature that can break out of the Chinese community. As for songs, they only enjoy popularity within East Asia and among Chinese communities. Regarding film and television works, only action movies had once gained fleeting popularity, but that was a long time ago. Currently, the popular romance and comedy films in the domestic film industry can only find their niche audience locally. The emergence of the Moonfall crisis has garnered high praise from foreign audiences who have never experienced science fiction films from here. As ordinary viewers, they do not understand or wish to know about the red lanterns, black soil, and various rural elements present in those films. Films containing these elements are unlikely to gain popularity abroad. However, the Moonfall crisis is different. Within its compact runtime of just over 10 minutes, it is filled with cool, realistic, and well-produced special effects. Elements like meteorite falls, exploding moons, towering tidal waves, and magnificent man-made structures send their adrenaline soaring. Science fiction is the genre that can most bridge world cultures. Many might not be interested in historical themes like Europeans stepping onto a new continent and massacring indigenous peoples. But if we replace that with futuristic Earthlings maneuvering technologically advanced starships and weapons, battling primitive tribes on a planet like Pandora, then the box office could soar, possibly even breaking some world records. In Dong Yinling's view, breaking the barriers set by domestic competitors in the entertainment market with science fiction films is undoubtedly an opportunity for a breakthrough. The popularity of Moonfall Crisis abroad has pleasantly surprised her, as it is precisely the opportunity she has long awaited. The space elevator battle was soon handed over to the international department, but the total runtime of these two videos is still less than 30 minutes, making them feel a bit thin. What? Do I have any new works recently? No, really none. Oh, right, I did write a novel. Chapter 30, Space Elevator. Exoskeleton Armor Lu Lang recalled the manuscript he had submitted a few days ago when asked if he had any new works. After several days of relentless work, the review team, led by Lu Zitao, despite physical discomfort, finally completed the preliminary review of the manuscript. After selecting 100 manuscripts from nearly 10,000 entries for the short and medium-length science fiction contest, it could almost be described as panning for gold in a sea of waste. After being bombarded by numerous works like My Lover, Mr. Tentacle, City Management Hero vs. Martians, and Crisis of Intelligent Machines, Sperm Thief, Lu Zitao was utterly exhausted. Just then, he received a call from his supervisor, Dong Yinling, the strategic director of a major entertainment company. How is Lu Lang's work? Although the quality of Lu Lang's science fiction short films is quite high, This is his first foray into writing science fiction novels, which makes Dong Yinling somewhat doubtful. Lu Lang? Did he also submit an entry? Lu Zitao asked in confusion. Most authors of the contest entries use pen names, and only during the final award selection will their identities be verified. Therefore, Lu Zitao was unaware that Lu Lang was also on the list of contestants. Do you remember the author of The Wandering Earth, Xiao Piqiu? Upon hearing the hint, Lu Zitao's eyes lit up. The Wandering Earth was one of the few rays of hope in the brutal manuscript review process over the past few days. If it weren't for The Wandering Earth, Lu Zitao would have almost despaired, thinking that science fiction from the country was truly beyond saving. It turns out that this Wandering Earth is his work. It has made the shortlist, and is even a strong contender for first place. The concept is grand. Humanity constructs 10,000 planetary engines to drift the Earth out of the solar system. This is the most creative idea I've seen in recent years. Talking about The Wandering Earth, Lu Zitao's eyes began to sparkle as he excitedly described